The college basketball experience SEC Conference 2025-26 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code. That's TCESGPN. So do that. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
Hey, this is John Sally, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience. SEC season preview episode. YouTube.com/the college experience. we are less than 1 week away from the season starting. You know, it's already been, I already feel like the season started, to tell you the truth. With us doing these previews, me going out these media days and talking to these coaches. All right. I'm sick of them, actually. Let's just start playing the games. Let's get the games on. Excited about this conference. This was the best conference in the land last year. I don't think anyone is arguing that. If so, his name might be Moneyline Mac. We'll talk about him in a second. My name is Colby Swigga, Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Oh boy, 16 teams. I mean, this was the best conference of college basketball last year. I think that which is crazy because I've been watching college hoops since the late 80s. They were never the best conference ever, in my opinion, in basketball history, at least in my lifetime. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Football Experience, and we are in the middle of a doubleheader right now. We got the Big Ten after this for college basketball, but after that, we are talking college football through the evening hours. So check out that. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, aka Moneyline Mac. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Yes, 1 week to go. It's here, man. We're finally here. And yeah, the SEC was bad in football, so they decided to be the best in basketball last year.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
We are joined by third man in the booth, and he'll say, wait, whoa. Football, basketball, SEC's the best baseball conference. Give it up for the host of the College Baseball Experience, and also a guy that's been with us for the years, the important years of the college basketball experience. Give it up for the great Noah Bienick. How are you, brother?
The on video years, right? The YouTube existence of this show going on year 4. Always a blast. I enjoy the preseason previews a lot more than these guys, I think, mainly because I kind of work myself out throughout the middle of the season with those long Saturday episodes for sure. But yeah, last year, I was all over the SEC in the preseason. I couldn't have thrown it down Mac's throat more. I was like, this is the best league in the conference. This year, I think the league takes a step back. I do not think it's going to be the best league in the country. So with that being said, also Florida national champions last year. I enjoyed it a lot.
Fucking disgusting. Gosh, that fucking game.
My heart still hurts from that game.
Sorry, sorry, Gator fans. It's nothing personal, I don't think, but it's more so that we were on Houston. Me and Mac were. Bienick's a Florida Gator fan ever since he went to Disney World, and
I think I credit this show because now I went and Googled my aunt's name. She's got a player page now, which she did not previously. She played 4 years in the 70s, but like you could not Google her name and find anything.
I didn't get any royalty checks on that. Right? The sample cleared. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. See?
Glad we could help.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're using this platform for good.
Does that mean White Tiger already has a Wikipedia page? I haven't checked. I haven't checked if White Tiger has a Wikipedia page yet. All right, let's jump into this shit, man. I'm excited to talk ball. Obviously, I mean, I guess should we hit with?
Yeah,
what was
real
the
quick.
biggest news was Bruce Pearl retiring over a 30-minute video.
Yeah, I mean,
seemed like he's making it seem like he's the greatest human being that's ever touched planet Earth.
We can recap last year too. So go over our predictions. Colby predicted Arkansas to win. Mac had Alabama. I had Auburn winning the regular season. I was so high on the Tigers last year.
Surprised he didn't thank you in the video.
They were my preseason natty champs.
Maybe he did. I just never got to minute 34.
Yeah. It was definitely a long one. I sat down and watched it all, to be honest. So consider me a sucker. But yeah, I drilled Auburn. They won this league by like 3 games last year or something like that. Sorry, 1 game. They must have let go of the lead late. They lost their final
3 out of 4 down the stretch.
Yeah, they lost their final 2 regular season games. But yeah, I remember them clinching with like 3 games to go. Tournament champ. None of us guessed Florida. Colby was on Ole Miss. Mac said Arkansas. I said Tennessee. However, I think both Mac and I drilled the sleepers of the league last year. Ole Miss being an Elite 8 team, I think checks off that box.
Sure.
They finished in the middle of the pack. Standing
What was that
wise.
one last week? He was trying to phone in as a sleeper pick.
Oh,
what conference were you doing? He tried to sneak that one in there. Oh,
it was an ACC one, I think.
All I'm saying is that if it was a sleeper considered last year and I wasn't pushed on it, then
he's like Duke was my sleeper. They made it to the Final Four. I forget what team it was, but that was clever last week.
My sleeper in the ACC last year was Miami. That didn't go well. So I know it wasn't ACC. Texas A&M was my sleeper. They go 11-7, finish 5th. I think that's good enough in a 16-team league. Colby was on Arkansas, Sweet 16 team.
I was, and then they ruined my season.
St. John's.
It was a terrible spot.
They went 8-10 in the SEC last year. We swept the board. Colby was on Texas. They finished 3rd to last in the league.
They were a bust. Their talent level is so much better than their performance.
Yeah, we swept the board. I'm giving it to you. I mean, they finished 3rd.
Wasn't. Okay.
No, they went 6-12 in the SEC. They should not have been an NCAA tournament team. They got into the play-in. And then both Mac and I were on South Carolina, and they go 2-16 last year after a 2nd place finish. So handshakes all around in the bus category on that.
Let's go.
New coaches in the league. Colby was already talking about it. Stephen Pearl replacing his father, Bruce Pearl. He ended war in the world, by the way, in that video. You get to pay if you get to the 37th minute. Peace on earth happens. Peace on earth happens. I'm sorry. Continue, Bienick. And then the other 2 coaching changes come in the Lone Star State as Texas goes out and gets Sean Miller, the guy they lost to in that play-in game in the NCAA tournament last year.
He's so perfect for Texas, by the way. It's just
and then Bucky McMillan, Bucky Ball at Texas.
That's an interesting one. I feel like that one's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more in depth.
Yeah. So this, if you're just tuning into our previews, we go alphabetically. So with that, let's hop in and talk about the first team on the board, which is Roll Tide, Alabama. All right, Nate Oats and the Tide. Well, I think they had very good news when Noah Bienick's LeBaron Philon, withdrew from the NBA. That right there was pretty fucking big news. Aiden Holloway is back as well. Latrell Wrightsell is also back. He's like a fifth-year senior, I believe. Aiden Sherrill back, as well as Houston Millette, is it? All back. They bring in some 4 stars in London Jemison, Davion Hanna, Amari Allen. And then they got, I guess they're waiting on a waiver for somebody else, but they go out to the Patriot League and bring in Bucknell transfer Noah Williamson, a guy who averaged 17 points a game with the Bison, Jalil Bethea from the Miami Hurricanes, and Taylor Bull Bowen from Florida State. Interesting. And then Tarleton State's Bristow, a freshman who flashed with Tarleton State a season ago. They lost a lot from last season.
Mark Sears.
Youngblood, Sears,
Nelson,
Grant Nelson, the Rutgers big man. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah. They lost all those guys. I think this program is pretty solid, but I also expect them to step back a tiny bit. So, Mac, your thoughts on this year's team?
Yeah, the bar is super high with what Nate Oats has been able to do with this program the last 6 years. Especially the last 3 where they've gone to the second weekend or better, including a Final Four just a couple years ago. So
what murder?
Exactly. Yes. They've like you said, this is kind of a program we just expect to win 25 plus games because of their identity of being able to score the ball and play a chaotic pace. But I do agree. I think they will take a step back, losing all those veterans that were in Oats' system. But I think they're still talented as hell. And I like the Williamson get from Bucknell. I think they will be an NCAA tournament team. But no, I would probably say they're probably closer to the middle than they are to the top of winning the SEC again.
I've got them kind of in the middle of the middle and the top.
Yeah,
so
like
I've got them as like a fringe contender, not a true threat to the title, but I think they could be in the running within 2 or 3 games of it. Alabama's had 4 straight top 30 offenses under Coach Nate Oats, but the defense has been a seesaw between top 30 or outside the top 90 every other year without any consistency. Alabama loses their 2 starting big men, like we've already mentioned, in Nelson and Cliff. The narrative surrounding last year's Alabama team was their depth, and I just do not see that this year because they lose a lot of last year's role players, and they're already dealing with 2 injuries in the backcourt. Latrell Wrightsell is still rehabbing that Achilles injury from last year, and Jalil Bethea has a broken foot. So you're relying on some freshmen and some up transfers to play more minutes than maybe you would have thought 4 months ago. The Crimson Tide, they have shooting in abundance, but I think that defense is going to take another step back without an experienced rim protector. Cliff Amourier was like such a big piece for that team. And also Nelson played big minutes at the 5 last year, and you just don't have a proven guy at the 5. And it's still going to be one of the better teams in the SEC because of how good this offense will be, but they'll have to outscore a lot of teams in order to win some games. I think they will for the most part, but that's the weakness, is the defense for sure.
What do you think of that blazer he's wearing right there?
He loves
the college experience.
He's got some suit game.
Yeah, he loves the suits.
He sold a few Cadillacs in my day, if I had to bet.
He's got some pretty. Nate Oats got some pretty boy in him.
Shout out to Nate Oats and the Tide. Yeah, I think they're probably gonna get back dancing, and then but just regression. I just feel like. Let me ask you this:
4 seed or 5 seed in the tournament.
You see his records right there for the past 3 years, right? Is this going to be the worst record out of those 3 seasons? I kind of think it could be. It's probably going to be if I had to bet.
I think it's closer to 21-22, where they were 19-14, finished 5th, round of 64 team. So yeah, I don't think they're going to win 25 plus again.
Well, let me rattle off the schedule, which is why I think I feel that way.
He schedules aggressively.
He schedules to his credit, he schedules very aggressively. They open up against North Dakota. They always take on these Dakotas. He's got a pipeline through these Dakotas. But after that, they head to Queens to take on St. John's. Right. Then they take on Purdue. Now that is in Tuscaloosa, but that is, that's maybe the toughest 2-game non-con stretch in America. Then after that, they head to Chicago to take on the Illini. I mean, then after that, 4th game in a row, they are in Vegas taking on Gonzaga in the Players Era Festival. I mean, look at that 4-game stretch, guys. St. John's, Purdue, Illinois, Gonzaga. And then after that, they have UNLV in Vegas. I mean, that is a tough schedule. And then they have the ACC SEC Challenge with Clemson and Brad Brownell coming there December 3rd. They get a little bit of help with UTSA coming there on December 7th. And then look at the end of the non-con here. Arizona in Birmingham. They get South Florida team that's getting a lot of preseason hype in Tuscaloosa December 17th. And then Kennesaw and Yale. So I mean, altogether though, it's a pretty damn challenging non-con schedule from Alabama. That's why I do think it could be in that 25-12 or maybe even say 24-13 or something, 23, something like that. Am I crazy, Bienick?
No. And I'm looking at KenPom, and he's got them losing 5 games in the non-conference. That 4-game stretch, they're not favored to win any of those, and also not favored to beat Arizona and Birmingham either.
I mean, shout out to Nick in the chat too, dropping this, man. Oats wears the jackets to honor a student who passed away. Did not know that.
Yeah, they did a story on that, I think 2 years ago, whenever he passed away. It's worth noting too, South Florida, you mentioned the talented, that's his former assistant as well, Hodgson down there. So
good point.
Yeah, this is Oats doesn't run. Oats doesn't run from anybody, man.
Yeah, schedule's very, very legit. All right, let's hop over to our boy, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Woo pig suey. Someone in the chat was saying that.
And you know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity. I'm like, let's go. Now, I met with the team. There is no team.
I mean, they were must watch. I think, they were must watch as the season went along. I think they're still must watch personally. And this is where I feel like this year's team, in a similar vein to Pitino, when it's like Pitino became must watch, I mean, right away at St. John's, but I feel like there's similarities there. I can't really put my finger on exactly what it is, besides just 2 former state of Kentucky coaches. But look, they bring in Nick Pringle. That was surprising to me that he still can play college basketball. B, that they were able to get him in. They also bring in Malik Ewan from Florida State, who played well with Saudi Arabia State. Brought it, and then the freshman Darius Acuff, who's supposed to be a beast, 5-star freshman. They also have Malik Thomas coming in, as well as Isaiah Sealy, and then a couple European guys, a Lebanese forward Kareem. How do I pronounce retail?
Retail.
Yeah, I don't think that's retail, but
retail store.
Paulo Semedo from what is that? Angolan. Bosnian, Elmer Zafik, Amir Brown, another freshman, 5'9". There we go. And they return a chunk of their team with Billy Richmond III, Carter Knox, DJ Wagner, of course, and then Brazil, the big man. Guys, this is the team.
He's got a team this year.
Yeah. This is the team. They're going deep. Kentucky fans are going to hate it unless they can meet them on the road. But I feel very good about this. The best team in the past 5 years for Cal. So load up. Bienick, I don't want to hear any hate. All right. Mac, why are we taking them to win the SEC?
I think there's a case to be made. I mean, they're at the top of the returning production in He had no team last year to start. Like they had to find their identity. They were 0-5 in SEC play, then 1-6. But when February 1st came and they went to Rupp and won, that turned around their whole season. From there they go on a run. They get into the NCAA tournaments. They go all the way to the Sweet 16, beating St. John's in that round of 32. I think they carry the momentum from the end of year one here, and just being able to have guys back like Wagner, Knox, Brazil, and then adding guys through the portal like Pringle and Elwin. So they're going to be good, man. This is a top 10 team in the country.
I can't wait, man. The drama is loaded up. Bienick, your thoughts on on the Razorbacks?
You're not going to get any hate from me because I'm a Darius Acuff guy. He's Metro Detroit high school star. Then he went to IMG, I believe. But yeah, in the U18s, not this past summer, but the summer before, he was the best guy on the floor at all times for Team USA. I think he's flying under the radar as one of these stud freshman recruits. It's turning out to be a pretty good freshman class. Acuff's a ball dominant guard, and he will be a very good guard in Calipari's offense because, he just kind of lets these guys go. Acuff's physical, great off the dribble. He's going to be a force to reckon with in transition. Arkansas's got a very good front court too. There's some pieces for some pick and roll stuff with Acuff. Outside of Acuff, I think there's some questionable shooting, and the bench is really young and inexperienced. It makes me slam on the brakes from calling them a top 10 team, but I got Arkansas in the top 5 of the conference in the SEC. So very high on Trevon Brazil. He really turned it up in the back half of the year, coming off the ACL injury early in the season. He wasn't quite the same. And his numbers were down overall last season, but the athleticism is back. He's the real deal once again. The ceiling for me with this team is DJ Wagner, Carter Knox. Can they shoot the outside ball? If they can, I think the Hogs are going to be good this year. Really good.
You know what's not good though?
Their schedule.
Yeah, this horse shit. No, it's not their fault.
Why? Why is it not their fault?
It's the SEC's fault.
Oh, for not scheduling at Kentucky?
Why can we not do a home and home? They have dynamite there, and the SEC refuses to light it. They refuse to light it, and it bothers me greatly. We get Missouri, Arkansas twice, right? Come on. Come on, man. We want a home and home with Kentucky. It's not that fucking hard to do, especially when you have 31 games or whatever. The non-con. There is, to Bienick's point, there might be just a little bit of bullshit with the Southern Jaguars coming in there. Central Arkansas, Samford, Winthrop, Jackson State, Fresno State, and Queens. But
all their tough games are neutral. They have one at.
Yeah.
Keep going.
They play at Michigan State in East Lansing on November 8th. They take on Duke in Chicago on Thanksgiving. That's pretty awesome. They get the Louisville matchup. That's December 3rd, but that's at home. They are hosting Louisville. They get Texas Tech at the Dallas, what is it? The America Airlines Arena or whatever. Hey, next time, go the distance. And they also get Houston in New Jersey.
So random.
What? They also get James Madison, which I guess could be chippy if you're not. It's just a sleepwalking. JMU's a decent program. We've seen them. Remember they went to East Lansing and won a few years back. But yeah, that's the non-con. Yeah, this team is going to be very good. I think they got to stay healthy, but I think they'll be very good. Yeah. Shout out to Kenneth in the chat saying Arkansas is my natty dark horse. There we go. Getting a lot of love here. Let's talk about the next school in the SEC, which is the Auburn Tigers and Stephen Pearl. Word is he does not like to take his shirt off as much as his father. But Does he like to sell Cadillacs like his father is the big question. Look, they went out and they went deep sea fucking diving, bringing in Elijah Freeman from Lincoln Memorial. Is that a hospital?
D2 school.
Do we have another hospital in the ranks? 19 points a game. He's projected to start from D2 to the SEC.
Colby, Lincoln Memorial is actually a football stadium. So, yeah.
It is.
That's
in
where
Lincoln, Nebraska. I like that. They also brought in a slew of guys. Abdul Bashir, a JUCO transfer from Casper. What the fuck? Wyoming? Is that Philip Jovic from the ABA Yugoslavian leagues? He's Serbian born. I just like to say Yugoslavia. Caden Magwood, a 4-star freshman. Sebastian Williams Adams, a 4-star freshman. Simon Walker, another 4-star freshman, all coming in. And Emeka Apurum from Butler Community College, not Butler and Hinkle Fieldhouse. I mean, they truly went deep sea diving. They also brought in a slew of other transfers. Kevin Overton from Texas Tech. Keyshawn Hall, that's a nice get from UCF. Keyshawn Murphy as well from Mississippi State. And the big news was getting Todd Pettiford back as he flirted with the NBA. But, I mean, compared to last year's team where they just lost so much from Broome to Cardwell to Denver Jones and so on and so on. Yeah, look, they built the jungle. Their home court environment's incredible. But I expect regression, and I feel like everybody, even their fan base, should expect a decent shout of regression here. So, your thoughts, Mac?
Yeah, I think Auburn, both Alabama schools are going to take a step back this year, and
this
we're going
one
to see
even more, right?
Yeah, this one's definitely going to have the bigger drop because you're losing a Hall of Famer, and Bruce Pearl. And I know it's his son, Stephen Pearl. He's been there every step of the way at Auburn, but it's still going to be a transition, making those 18 inches for Stephen Pearl to the next seed. So I'm interested to see how this group comes together under such a young coaching staff. I like some of the pieces. They're talented, and getting Pettiford back was huge. But I have them in the middle of the pack this year. They're definitely not going to be ranked number one from early November all the way to the Final Four again.
Bienick?
Yeah, nobody was higher than me on Auburn last year. They were my preseason national champion. But, outside of Todd Pettiford, they lose everybody, including, like Max said, their Hall of Fame head coach from a Final Four team last year. Those don't come around every year. It's at programs like Auburn, once in a blue moon. And I see a really, really, really low floor with this team. It's very Todd Pettiford reliant with a mix of Keyshawn Hall, Kevin Overton, and Abdul Bashir launching threes. I also think, under Pearl, this defense was very good year after year. I don't think the defense is going to be as good this season as they've been in recent seasons. I think there's also depth questions here with some D2 and JUCO guys coming in, and also some freshmen, and just overall youth inexperience on that bench. I think there's a steep fall coming with Auburn here. I agree with you guys.
Yeah, and the schedule for Auburn fans, it opens up tip off on the Plains with Bethune-Cookman. So we know Doc Bradley's going to take it to you. You have 30 and 10 and 10 and 10. Then they get the Merrimack Warriors in the Beat Bama food drive going on there. Then they get Wofford. Then finally on the 16th, gave him a nice little runway. All right. One of those James Franklin runways they want to build. Well, they did want to build, past tense. Auburn takes on Houston in Birmingham on Sunday, November 16th. That's one to circle. Then after that, it's Jackson State, followed by they're a part of that players era out in Vegas, taking on the Oregon Ducks and the Michigan Wolverines. Bienick, you ready for that one? And then they get the Pussy Pack in the ACC SEC Challenge on December 3rd. They're hosting the Pussy Pack. Then they head to Tucson. This is an awesome game on campus at the McHale Center there. On December 6th, they also get Chattanooga And then how about they get Chattanooga in Atlanta. They're still doing that in Atlanta. Is that a 2-series tournament or is that just a one-off? I can't remember. And then they get the Boilermakers in Indianapolis on December 20th before going up against Queens to close out the non-con. So, what do you make of that? It's all right, right? There's some fat in there. They did Big 12 it up a little bit with Bethune, Merrimack, Bethune, Merrimack, Jackson State, Queens. I mean, little Iowa State in there, Bienick.
For sure. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were handing this job off to Pearl months ago.
True. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, they got some tough ones with Houston, Purdue, Arizona, and Michigan. Those will all be top 10, top 15 teams.
Yeah.
It's just not even close to the recent gauntlets that Auburn's had with Bruce. Last year, they didn't play a single team in the 300s. And you've got the potential of 2 or 3 of them this year. I don't know. They also hit the road one year at App State. Like, they're not even close to challenging themselves like that.
They stormed the court on them. I remember that.
Oh yeah, that was great. Was that last year or the year before?
2 years ago.
Yeah, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, look. What do you think the chances are they miss the NCAA tournament, Mac?
I think they're good. Like,
yeah.
There's a world if they don't find their identity and let's just say they kind of get beat up on in the non-con, and then they're not good enough in the SEC. There's definitely a world where they could go 7-11 in SEC play.
It depends on how good the conference is in the non-conference, which then determines how many losses you can take in the SEC. If it's a league where, like last year, you can go 6-12 and Texas gets in as a playing team, they're a tournament team. Because that's about where I have them as last year's Texas, like 12th. So,
yeah. All right. Look, before we get to the next team, I want to let the good folks know. That's what you guys are. Everyone listening and watching, you're good folks. I want to let you know that, we are the College Basketball Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and the NFL, MLB, NBA, college football, and NHL are all live. College hoops as well. And we got podcasts giving out free picks for everything. CFL as well. Even the Canadian Football League with the Grey Cup coming in the next couple weeks. Subscribe to the SGPN feed to catch every episode. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Just type in SGPN and boom, let it ride. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on basketball, and everything else. Of course, their prop builder second to none, and their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to mybookie.ag, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by NoVig. NoVig is America's #1 sports prediction market. And with NoVig, you're getting the best prices because they're an exchange. NoVig's available in 35 plus different states. Download the NoVig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use the promo code SGPN. So get in on that action with NoVig. Promo code SGPN. All right, next up. We got the reigning national champion, Florida Gators, who, man, they damn near went undefeated last year, 36-4, unbelievable. Well, there's a lot of reason to be optimistic, I think, because Alex Condon's back, and then Bienick, how do I pronounce the other big guy's name?
Ruben Chinyelu.
Yeah.
Washington State.
Yeah, he's back as well. Thomas Hall is back as well as they go and get
the one that looks
Flan.
easy on paper tricks him up.
It's tough just all of a sudden switching back to basketball when you've been reading football names for 6 months. So
yeah,
it's just like, wait a second. Boogie Flan is I mean, that was the big news, is them landing Boogie Flan. Also Xavier Lee from Princeton, AJ Brown from Ohio, Kovachev from Sac State. He didn't want Shaq as the general manager. He said, I'm out, going to reigning national champs. Sell your goddamn General's car insurance. Alex Lloyd, a 4-star coming in. Same with CJ Ingram. Excited about both of them. The roster, honestly, if they stay healthy, they're pretty fucking good. Bienick, I'm curious. I normally go to Mac first, but I'm gonna go to you first here because this is one of your teams. And could we see back-to-back national championships here?
I'm not quite that high on Florida. But then again, I wasn't that high on Florida last year either. I remember picking them third. I went and listened to last year's show to go get our predictions and everything. I picked Florida third, which was relatively bold. And Colby specifically said, there's a chance. And they had that good of a year. So I don't know. I mean, again, I'm relatively warm, but I think there's more people that are higher on this Gators team than I am this year. Florida's had back-to-back top 15 offenses under Coach Todd Golden, and parlaying that last year with a top 10 defense was what unlocked their national championship winning ceiling. Unfortunately, that good defensive backcourt that had Elijah Martin and Will Richard, two very good defensive guards, have left alongside, the tournament MVP and Walter Clayton Jr., who made himself a program legend. Florida needs to replace that entire backcourt. They bring in Boogie Fland, and yeah, that's the TMZ get. And I'm not necessarily sold on Fland because Arkansas was better when they took him out of the starting lineup last year. So we'll see what happens with Florida. Also, Xavier Lee, the physicality is a little bit of a question mark for him coming in from the Ivy League into the SEC. We'll see where he's at there because finishing around the bucket is going to be important for him. And we'll see what happens in the SEC around those human trees down low. But what I do know is that I said it all year last year. Everybody was sleeping on Florida's depth up front, the nameless and faceless guys, the big men that seamlessly rotated in without any worry. I think that this is the best front court in the country because 2 years ago, their starting center, Micah Hanlogton's projected as the bench 5 behind Ruben Shinyelu, who is the starting 5 for the national championship team last year. Hauk returns he's going to play the 3, Condon at the 4. Somehow Condon was national preseason first team. I love it. That means my propaganda's out there. Hauk was money from deep in clutch moments, but we're going to need to see that more throughout the fall if he's going to be the starting 3. To me, the Gators have a little bit more questions than I'd love to admit from a national championship front runner that everybody else is billing them up to be. I don't have them as the preseason team to beat in the SEC. So I'm curious how you guys feel on Florida this season.
I don't know if they're the team to beat in the SEC, but I think they're definitely a contender. Top 2 or top 3. To Avetta's point in the chat, they're huge up front in the front court with those 3 bigs and then a couple guys off the bench as well. So I think that the identity is going to be different with this team. They're going to more try and play slower just because they do have more size, and that backcourt last year was just unbelievable, led by Walter Clayton. But yeah, I think Florida's a national championship contender again. I'm just curious to see what this new look Gator team is more featured in the front court, and they scheduled good. And we're going to find out here in 7 days from now.
Oh yeah, they open up with the Wildcats in Vegas. Very excited for that game. Yeah, that's great. 1 week. It just sounds good. Sounds good. It's getting excited here.
Tough crowd in the chat. Frank's saying Golden can't coach and make adjustments. He just won the Natty.
That pile of shit. He can't coach.
On adjustments.
I was saying that. at one point, and then I was just
Colby
maybe
was
I need to shut the fuck up now. Okay.
3 double-digit comebacks in the NCAA tournament. That'll quiet some haters.
Well, I will say I don't know how many adjustments he made in the UConn game. It was more like Walter Clayton made some fucking mind-blowing shots.
Dude, he did that throughout the tournament. It was unbelievable.
Jimmy's and Joe's over X's and O's, everybody.
Sure.
Amen.
Hey, do you want to highlight Florida's schedule real quick?
Oh, yeah. What am I talking about? Go back.
You just wanted to talk Mike White, former Gator coach.
Yeah.
What is this?
it's a great. I had a great segue planned, and no. But obviously we talked about how they open up. You even served this up to me, and I missed it. With the
Right.
Arizona one, I think I was just mad that that Houston game. It's like fuck this team. But yes, they open up on TNT next week against Arizona in Vegas. Should be a fantastic game. Then they get North Florida, followed by Saudi Arabia State, aka Florida State, on November 11th. I do like the regionality of these 3 games in a row. North Florida, Florida State, and then taking on Miami. But in Jacksonville, hey Miami, go the distance. Then they get Merrimack, followed by TCU in San Diego. Fuck is that? They fly over TCU, but that's the Children's Invitational that they're doing there every year now. Then they'll get the winner or loser of Providence, Wisconsin, and then the big one here, December 2nd, as they go to Cameron Indoor Stadium to take on Duke, part of the SEC ACC Challenge. Then they come out of that and go to New York City, take on the UConn Huskies and Coach Hurley's bunch. And then
let's just make sure that Hurley doesn't pick out the referees. That's all I ask.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
How about this one? This one, it's tough for me to address this one because they're taking on George Washington in Sunrise, Florida, as the Orange Bowl Classic. I mean, instead of us doing a basketball game to honor the one of the greatest stadiums in the history of football, can we just destroy that stupid Marlins Park and return the football stadium? All right. Anyway, they get George W. there, not George W. Bush, but George Washington, and they get St. Francis in their final year. Made the NCAA tournament. Hey, let's go play. They're dropping to D3 after the season. Then they get the Colgate Raiders, the toothpaste, on December 21st. Then they get fucking Dartmouth on December 29th. Do you think this schedule is more challenging? I mean, just the fact you have Arizona, your rivals with Florida State and Miami, and then Duke, UConn. That right there, I think, is enough meat on the bone for me to not shit on the non-con.
And you gotta like some of them getting the regionality games, playing Florida State and Miami, so some Florida bragging rights games too. So yeah, it's a solid schedule. The Duke and UConn games back to back will be huge.
We took some notes from the Big 12.
About time you guys started figuring it out.
I mean, that's not good for the sport though. With some of this shit, I mean, come on, you're playing in Sunrise, Florida.
You gotta play a couple cupcakes to get the freshmen in.
That's true, but this one's even more annoying where it's like you couldn't go to the swamp. You're going to Sunrise, Florida?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sunrise?
let's talk about this real quick. How is Todd Golden losing the discussion to Jai Lucas about where they're playing their damn basketball game this year? Unless this was a deal
that Orange Bowl money.
Unless this was a deal that it was like a home and home neutral, but they play almost every year.
I just don't understand let's honor the football stadium by playing a basketball game. What? I'm so wait, I think me hearing that release here.
They play in the Orange Bowl every year. It's
it's very strange.
The basketball Orange Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't get. They bring the head cold, but.
Yeah, just more games on campus is the solution for all these programs.
Yeah, last year it looks like they played South Florida there in Jacksonville.
What are you gonna do? At least it's in Florida, but it's not like I feel like didn't we see a game last year between like Texas Tech and somebody or so? I feel like there were two schools from one state playing in like fucking
California.
Yeah, it was like what? What are we doing here? Look, they fired Mike White to bring in Golden, and well, I think we might have been upset a little bit at that, but Turns out they were right. Look, Mike White's at Georgia,
Hey,
and he's done
I
a
want
good
it known
job.
too. We didn't fire Mike White. Mike White took the Georgia job.
Yeah, Mike White left before he could be
Well,
fired.
he did a Calipari. He realized.
Yes.
He realized the only problem was Mike White could walk his dogs because most people in Gainesville really cared about their football program. They're like,
we did not axe White. He left.
That's true. He didn't get fired. He left, but he was about to get fired. Right? He read the room. Actually, credit to him for reading the room. Snow White, buddy. As long as they got Blue Cane, I will bet on them, and they do have Blue Cane back. 27 minutes a game a season ago, just about 10 points per game. But the problem is they lost a slew of guys in the portal. And then Newell, the big man, he's gone. They return. Besides Blue Cane, Samto Cyril was a guy who got about 14 minutes a game. Dylan James got about 14 minutes a game as well. And Justin Abson, who was a senior that got about 10 minutes a game a season ago. They went out to the portal, brought in Jordan Ross from St. Mary's. Randy Bennett was like, you want to be part of the program? Go. Get out of here. Get out of here. Jeremiah Wilkinson from the California Golden Bears. Cannon Catchings from BYU. He's like, I don't want to win a natty. Let me go to Georgia. Marcus Melender from UTSA. I remember ECU just destroying their season. Justin Bailey from the Wofford Terriers. And a bunch of 4-star freshmen coming in. Jake Wilkins, Kareem Stagg, great name. Guys, as long as I got Blue Cane, I just want to pick them to win the SEC, but I won't right now. But yeah, I think the team is not as talented as a year ago. So I will take them to not make the NCAA tournament. Mac?
Yeah, last year was the breakthrough year for Mike White. He gets him to the NCAA tournament in year 3. I'm trying to remember who they got killed by Gonzaga. That's who they ended up losing to. So, but overall a good year. You mentioned it. They lost a ton off of that team. So there's a lot of question marks with this roster, I think. A new backcourt. I like Blue Cane. He's a solid piece as well. He'll be their veteran leader, it looks like. But I think that Mike White just finds a way to hit the floors high with Mike White. You see it. Those 3 years, they're over 500. He was never bad at Florida. It just had a couple teams that bowed out in the round of 32 or in the NIT. So I think it's more the same. I think I don't know if they'll win 20 this time, but I think it may be closer to year number 1 here coming off the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I somewhat liked last year's Georgia team. I had them in the tournament in the preseason, but it was like, they hit some good recruits coming in that class, had a good, nice portal class that plugged in some holes. And I think that was more of what a ceiling could be at Georgia. Because, prior to that 2025 season with Coach Mike White, he had underperformed preseason expectations in 7 straight years. I've Georgia falling back into the basement of the SEC this year because I think it's going to be an offensive struggle. It's the 3rd least experienced roster in the SEC this preseason, according to Torvik. There's not a whole lot to really like about this group. Jordan Ross didn't really even kind of click at St. Mary's. There were other pieces with the Gales that were, big contributors. Cannon Catchings lost his starting job at BYU last year. That's why he transferred out. And they played better without him. And Purdue didn't want him either. So he's on his 3rd destination in 2 years. And Blue Cane, his freshman year, was a little bit of like an SGPN joke, and he's turned into like the key piece of this team. And that's a little scary.
Let's go.
The schedule. Let's talk about this schedule because they open up with Bellarmine. And I'm using their team website here. Then they take on Maryland Eastern Shore, right? The first 3 days of the season. So watch out for those 2. Then Morehead State. After that, they do host Georgia Tech. I love this game being played. Deeper than hate is what they call that one. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Florida A&M, they get after that. Then they have the Shriners Children's Charleston Classic, which I will be at. Xavier, they're going to get Xavier there on November 21st.
The Shriners tournaments are awesome. Went to their baseball tournament last year. Very well ran. You'll enjoy it.
And then they're going to get the either Clemson or West Virginia there. Then they get Tennessee Tech. Then they get Florida State and Tallahassee.
Their only road game of the non-con.
Yeah. Then they get Cincinnati and Atlanta for the Holiday Hoops Classic, whatever the hell they're calling that thing. And then Western Carolina. Watch out for those Cats. That could be a chippy game there, December 18th. Then they get West Georgia, who's recently moved up the ranks on December 22nd. I want to talk about this on December 29th, their final non-con game in Athens. According to their website, they're scheduling the fucking Long Island Blackbirds. Have you guys seen this? They have not adjusted. They are still calling them LIU Brooklyn, and they have the Blackbirds logo.
Yeah, what the hell, Georgia? This is a high major program.
There's no sharks apparently swimming down there in Athens. Curious what you guys think of the non-con, because there's some fluff on that. There is some solid fluff on that.
They knew this was going to be kind of a rebuild year, I think, with the way they scheduled.
For sure.
Yeah. Blackbird singing. Are they live? Rod Strickland going to come into Athens, Bienick, and get that dub, right? You on that now? Let's call it right now.
I don't know, man, because I think Gerald Gillian meant a lot to that LIU team. Florida State will beat them because that's where Gillian's at right now.
Oh, okay. So you're just already fading the Sharks or the Blackbirds. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why. Yeah, this team's towards the back of the SEC, I would say. Next up.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well,
I don't get they bring the head cold, but they're counting down 7-6-5.
That was the sound of Mark Pope when he talked to the boosters, and he got a line. He said, "How much money can we raise to just a ballpark to each booster?" And they're like, "I'll throw down this much." And then you got this.
Well, I don't get they bring the
Money
head cold,
team.
but they're counting.
I'll throw down this much.
Well, I don't get they bring the head cold, but they're counting.
I'll do you one better too. To quote Taylor Swift, 22.
Oh yeah, yeah, 22. Bienick's a Swiftie. I like it.
I don't even understand that reference.
That's the name of one
I
of the
appreciate
songs.
One of her songs. You know, you got to be. You got to be.
I
at the
don't
time,
know.
Dundee.
I don't know the
I have a
lyrics. I
son,
just know
not
the
a
song
daughter.
title.
You gotta adapt. You gotta adapt to perish in the portal and NIL era.
There we go. I mean, guys, I know this is
When we were winning conference titles and going to the Final Four, we were making a statement.
Our football team,
our basketball team,
for the last 8 years, has got a linebacker, a tailback, an offensive tackle, 2 safeties, and a quarterback, all recruited by friends of the program.
Friends of the program. Nice to have friends of the program. All right. This is this the? I'm curious. What's more must watch, them or Arkansas, Mac? Because Mark Pope, who had a good season last year, I thought, but man, they brought back Owe. They brought back Brandon Garrison. They brought back Chandler deep on that bench, and then they bought everybody. Jalon Lowe from Pitt comes in. Denzel Aberdeen from Florida comes in. Muhammad Diabetes comes in from Alabama. I can't remember how to fucking say everyone's name. Jaden, yeah. Jaden gonna do acquaintance. Gonna do some maintenance. He comes in from Arizona State, but he tore his ACL in March. And then Cam Williams from Tulane played well at Tulane. Still lost to ECU a game. Reese Potter from Miami, Ohio also comes in. And then how about Jasper Johnson coming in and Malachi Moreno, as well as Braden Hawthorne. They loaded the fuck up. And I think the biggest thing they did was get rid of Kerr Krishna. Getting that guy's if I've ever seen like dark energy for your team, right? Just bad energy, just floating around. Kerr Krishna. Has he ever? I feel like every team he's been on, expectations
teams weren't bad with him.
Yeah. Okay.
They just would bow out though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they lost
exits.
to Princeton in the first round. I just feel like every team that he's been a part of, and yet every offseason someone says, "Hey, we can get this guy." Mac, the question is, are they more must watch than Arkansas? I'm gonna say no, but they're right there.
Probably no, because Pope is not Cal. Like Cal's part of the circus when it comes to Arkansas. Pope is more under control and normal. That's why we navigate towards Arkansas and St. John's. But yeah, Pope was a great hire. Patino's captain on the '98 championship team. I love this team. They got guards, they got size. Quaintance is coming off an injury at Arizona State, so interested to see how he is coming off that injury. But I like Diabate from Alabama. That's a glue guy to go with all these guards. And can't believe Aberdeen left Florida to go to Kentucky. I mean,
money, dude.
We got to have standards in this. Like that can't be allowed.
They came over the top and paid him.
Still, I mean, that's your fault to me. Like, you want to be part of something special. I mean, what is the price difference? What are we talking here?
Yeah.
What are you talking? Like, how much more money is enough?
There's like 15 guys on this roster, and the rumor is they spent $22 million on it.
I'm just saying, if Action
that's more
Sports
than $1 million
me,
per kid.
If Action Sports offered me like just $5,000 more, I'd be like, nah, I'm okay, man. But you know what? I got loyalty. All right, I got loyalty, guys. To you guys, to White Tiger. All right. But
thank you for putting us in the same sentence as your son.
Look, White Tiger. Well, I mean, he's young. He's only been around the planet for a little bit, so I haven't got too attached yet. You know what I mean? So,
hopefully your wife's.
I feel like once you get 5-10 years into it, that's when you start to really connect. I'm joking, but just in case the odd chance that someone shows her this. Next thing I know, I'll have another. Next thing I know, I have another microwave thrown at me. But
another.
Yeah, that's happened. It was years ago though. Don't worry about it. It's actually what made me fall in love with her. The more I think about it. But guys, the schedule. They open up with the Nazis of Nichols.
We're going straight to the schedule.
4th. Oh yeah, my bad. Did I? I think I asked Mac something, but okay. Yeah, my apologies, Mac. What do you make of the whole team?
Oh, I broke them down. They're good, man. Oh. They're loaded. Bienick didn't get a chance. Their guards are loaded, and
I didn't know I was supposed to jump in. My apologies. Yeah. I thought it was like more of a question to Mac, and he responded. Last year Kentucky had a top 10 offense, but the defense was rated outside the top 50. And in Mark Pope's 10-year career, he's only had one top 50 defense. So I think that's a question here, but Pope made it a point to address last season's lack of defense. It's very evident because when Lamont Butler was not on the floor and he missed some time due to injury, they were brutal. Last year, the Cats were 338th in turnover percentage defensively and 295th in defensive 2-point percentage. And they bring in Jaden Quaintance, the Arizona State kid, to answer, kind of address that problem. So many easy buckets at the rim last year against Kentucky. That still might happen early in the year because Quaintance probably not back till January-ish. And it's a knee injury with an explosive big man. To me, that's a lot of responsibility. He's still only 18 because he reclassified last year. But nevertheless, that's why you go to Kentucky, is all those expectations. And then in the time being, we already talked about it, Diabate, Cam Williams, Brandon Garrison. They're going to split the time at the 5. Jalon Lowe and Denzel Aberdeen, 2 athletic guards that should help Oweh create more turnovers in that backcourt, because Otega Oweh is probably their best defensive returning piece. Kentucky's a talented team that I'm definitely going to be more bullish on in the second half with Quaintance than the first half, without the very good defensive big man. And also, they'll run some of their offense through him. The good news for the Cats, though, is that the second half, everybody they play is in the SEC. So, yeah, I've got this team as the front runner in the Southeastern Conference. And talking about that schedule, Colby, you mentioned old friends earlier at the beginning when we were talking about Kentucky. What's with Patino not wanting to go back to Lexington?
Where's that game played at, by the way? I forgot.
I think Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, is that how it went down? Do you know how it went down, or are you speculating?
Well, I know that he was like in the building.
Yeah, he was there for the reunion.
Yeah, so
yeah,
he doesn't want to go back as the bad guy, though. Come on,
he leaves it to Cal. He lets Calipari do it instead.
These coaches just bother me these days, right? The fans want it. All right, the fans want it. You're ignoring base. So you can get so you can just avoid one more loss, please. Come on. So their schedule, they do play, they open up against the Nazis of Nichols on November 4th. Then they get Valpo. Do either of you guys have them losing to either of those fine teams?
No, lay 30.
If they were the Crusaders, maybe, but they're not losing to the Beacons.
They're gonna fuck those two teams up.
Yeah, and then I had a chance to, if this can load, I had a chance to talk to Pat Kelsey, which I know it's bad juju to show the Louisville coach on a Kentucky preview, and maybe one day I get punched in the face for that, and I understand that that would be acceptable, but this video is not loading fast enough. But I asked him about, because I feel like historically, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Historically, that has been a game that has been played in right around New Year's or Christmas. I feel like.
Yeah, it's early this year.
And this video is not. It's not going to load in time. Let's just go on. But yeah, he said for whatever reason they couldn't. They had scheduling conflicts with the SEC, the ACC. Kelsey said he would like it around Christmas time, but they're playing it on Tuesday, November 11th. I watch that game every year when the schedule comes out for all these teams. I circle certain games. That one is one that it's like Duke, Carolina. It's like, I love the Xavier Cincinnati game. Some of those Gonzaga St. Mary's games. You circle all those games. I can't wait for that game. I can't wait for that game. That one is always one of the first ones you do there. So that is their first real test after the Nazis and Valpo is taking on Louisville. Then they get Eastern Illinois before they go to the Garden to take on Tom Izzo and Michigan State. Then they get Loyola, Loyola Maryland, the Greyhounds, Tennessee Tech, and then the ACC Challenge there. They are welcoming in Hubert Davis in North Carolina on December 2nd. Then how about this? Nashville, Tennessee, of all places. What's with all these? Why? Gonzaga in Nashville, Tennessee. Hey, Gonzaga, go the distance. Friday, December 5th. That's just not necessary. Can't you just, if you're going to go that far, and I know it was a return from when they went to Seattle, right? I think so. Does that sound accurate? Right?
Yeah, because Cal wouldn't play at the Kennel.
All right. We have a pandemic going on in the sport. There's just too many. Me and shout out to Rocco Miller. I saw him in Vegas, and we were talking about that. It's there's just too many of these. There's too many neutral site games. Go the distance, Gonzaga. All right. Then they get North Carolina Central, Lavelle Moton. Then they get Indiana. That game's awesome. Saturday, December 13th at Rupp. And then how about this? December 20th, St. John's in Atlanta. But as you alluded to, Bienick, would sure be nice if that was on campus. And then Blarming on December 23rd, and that is the non-con. Your thoughts on that non-con, Mac?
Solid. I can't wait for that Louisville game here 2 weeks from tomorrow night. And then, of course, Carolina going to Rupp. Those two teams. I feel like they haven't played in Chapel Hill in forever. I feel like it's always in Kentucky for whatever reason. But getting Indiana back on the schedule, getting that as a home and home to win. But they do have too many neutral games for me. I'm with you.
Who wants that? I struggle to see the demand on that. Like, who wants that? Like, if you told me, if you're trying to sell tickets, now I know they do fine. Kentucky does, and same with Gonzaga. But I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to attract someone that is not your traditional fan that goes to all your games, I am much more likely to go to a game, Gonzaga at Kentucky, than when I see it in Nashville. Like, sure, if I'm in Nashville getting hammered, I'll go to that. But I'm not going out of my way to go to a neutral site, Kentucky Gonzaga game. If you could now, if they had it on the schedule for Rupp, I would go out of my way for that. And I think most people feel the same as me. Am I crazy, guys?
We went off on this in the WCC the other night because there's like 3 teams that are openly giving away their home games to Gonzaga this year to get more people in the stands. So Gonzaga's really playing like 14 league home games this year rather than 11 or 10. Yeah, whatever the number is.
Someone's got to explain to me. I don't see the point. I don't like okay, hear me out. Okay. Back in the day or something.
We're
Back
really
in the day,
getting sidetracked on the SEC preview now.
Back in the day, like I understand, like if it was a great high school, or if it's like, Texas football, or it's a bunch of New York City point guards you like, where you try to play a game at the Garden. Like I get a tiny bit of that, but nowadays everyone has a fucking TV. How are they making more money? I don't get, so I need someone to break this down on how this makes sense, because it must make sense for this many teams to do it.
So it's definitely more
corporate
seats
money, right?
It's corporate money, more seats, more suites, more satisfaction for boosters and everything like that. For the smaller schools, Kentucky's got that at Rupp. Like, you don't need to do that at Kentucky, in my opinion, at least. Because I don't know the dimensions of Rupp, but it seats plenty. And then you're going to sell out for an extra, 2,500 tickets and a few more suites.
Yeah, it's annoying. Frankly, like someone that loves the sport my whole life, I've loved it, but I feel like there's so many. Anyway, Kentucky's going to be phenomenal, and please play more games on campus. Anything else you guys want to add?
Nope.
They'll be good. Right. They're my favorite to win the SEC.
Ooh, okay. Let's talk hot seat. Did Matt McMahon just add another year to his tenure with them buying out Brian Kelly at a ridiculous price? But we thought he might get fired last year. Not the case. He was able to stay, and I think he might even be able to stay another year because of this glorious buyout that Brian Kelly has.
Had we previewed the SEC last week like we were going to, that would have been my take, is that McMahon this is his last year in Baton Rouge. Now some things have changed.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about basketball.
Yeah, now they're in a great spot. So
now you understand why LSU basketball is not a bad job. You're not under the microscope.
That's true. And I feel like they've had, I guess I'm showing my age, but they've had some good teams. They made the Final Four one year, man. Like they've had some good basketball teams. Yeah, I remember them with, Chris Jackson, aka Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, and Shaq, and Stanley Roberts and shit. They had guys. It's just interesting that they kind of have phoned it in lately. It seems like is that probably blame Saban? We can blame Saban on that. LSU, well, they return Jalen Reed, who was had a torn ACL a year ago. That was a big loss because he go back the year prior, he averaged 11 points a game. Robert Miller the third, and that's it. They went out and got Thomas, the point for UNLV. They got Mac. Mac, you should know this guy, Max McKinnon from the Portland Pilots. We are big fans of that because that always lights up our soundboard. Wait.
The only thing on my mind, June, was pussy.
Well, I mean, I guess that's Baton Rouge, but yeah. Anyway,
that pilot.
Yeah, the pilot one I was trying to get.
Dean Thomas, by the way.
I want this pilot. It's a matter of national security.
Rashad King coming in from Northeastern, right? Marquel Sutton from Omaha, your boys, Bienick. PJ Carter from Memphis, all right? And then Michael Nwoku from Mississippi State, as well as Pablo Tamba from UC Davis. They also have four-star freshmen coming in, and a 22-year-old Israeli guard, Ron Zipper. Sounds like that sounds like that's a porn. That's a porn actor right there.
Don't you love college basketball? You love college basketball now these days. 22-year-old freshman, right?
Starring in Plug It In is Ron Zipper, right? Yeah, you gotta love this. Guys, they're still going to be terrible, and he's going to buy himself another year. But I like college basketball is better when LSU is good because their fan base, look, they're a good fan base. They like to get drunk and root for sport. So it's better when they're good. But I don't think they're going to be good this year. Mac?
Yeah, they'll be in more of the basement again. They did. Well, this was before the Brian Kelly thing. They did invest more into their program from what they were talking about, but Thomas coming over from UNLV, there's just a lot of question marks here. And McMahon, year 2 was his best year where he was able to go 500 in league play, and they just missed the tournament. I think it's more of that 14, 15 win mark again here in year 4. But it'll probably get another year because that AD at LSU sucks.
Coach Matt McMahon's also parlayed a bottom 3 offense in the SEC with a bottom 3 defense into the 3 seasons. The one season not being that was the 500 year that Mac mentioned. This year, though, you can tell they spent a little bit of money on the roster because they go out and get stars from their previous destination where they're big time scorers. But that's kind of the issue. The roster doesn't really fit on paper to me. Quite a few newcomers. They were all ball dominant go-to scorers at their previous destination, and now they're all transferring up. Now they got to figure out some roles. Who's their go-to guys on the offensive end of the floor? Are they going to play defense? To me, there's plenty of questions on that aspect of things. So I've got LSU in the cellar, last in the SEC this year.
Well, I mean, have you guys looked at their schedule?
They're trying to pad those wins because they know
my God,
they're going to struggle to get them in league play.
This fucking one.
The fuck is that?
First off, guys, we might have a live dog this next Wednesday when Tarleton State comes to Baton Rouge at the Pistol Pete Maravich Center. That might be the toughest team they play all year. Then they get New Orleans on November 10th, followed by the Airport, Florida International, November 13th, followed by Alcorn State, November 18th, followed by Omaha on November 21st. I mean, first off, look at that. Tarleton State, New Orleans, FIU, Alcorn State, Omaha, then Drake.
Rebuilding Drake.
Trying to pad those wins, man. Trying to get those before the SEC.
Then they get either Georgia Tech or DePaul. Knowing them, they're going to end up with DePaul, right? Then the ACC SEC Challenge, which they have to do, they go to Chestnut Hill of all places. That's
maybe the farthest trip that you could plan in that.
Yeah,
maybe them heading out to Cal, but
the only meat on the bone here is they get Texas Tech in Fort Worth, Texas for some stupid reason. Go the distance.
No, it's at that stupid Dickies Arena.
I know. Yeah. Just look, go the distance. Then they get SMU in New Orleans. Hey, SMU, go the distance. No one wants to see the game at the Smoothie King Center. I mean, God, they're killing me here. Then they get Sela, then they get Prairie View, then they get Southern Miss. I mean, this is horseshit. This is absolute horseshit.
Be the worst non-con.
Yeah, that is just laughable. This
Their
is a laughable
floor is 9
non-con.
wins in the non-con.
They're cooking the books down Baton Rouge. They're cooking these fucking books. All right, let's get out of this one. I don't want to talk about these bums after reading that shit.
Hilarious.
Next up, we got Chris Jans, Mississippi State. Hail State. Hail State. Where the hell's my cowbell? Somewhere around here. Let's go. Let's go.
Good coach.
Great coach. And his teams, I did kind of buy in. I thought that team could score more than any of his teams ever. And they did score more, but I thought that might lead to them going further than what I thought. That did not happen. But Josh Hubbard's back, and he balled out for them a year ago. Same with Sean Jones, who played quality minutes, about 20 minutes a game. Those two are back, as well as deep on the bench. They have Guy Chol, 7-footer, who played about 5 minutes a game, and Doquan Warren, a guard that played just about 6.5 minutes a game. That's all that returns. They went out. They brought in Jaden Epps from Georgetown. Clark, why is he going to be SEC Player of the Year? Let's go. They also brought in how do I pronounce this again? The K-State game. Yeah.
The chore.
Yeah, I always fuck that up. Quincy Ballard, no relation to Matt, coming in from Wichita State. Jabari McGee coming in from UAB. Amir Ali from Arizona State, and then Brandon Walker from Montana State coming in there. And then they have a slew of freshmen they're excited about. King Grace T. Barlett, Jamarian Davis Fleming, no relation to Vern, Cameron Paul, all 4-star freshmen coming in, and they also got a kid from Slovenia coming in, Serge Makura. I don't know how to say these names.
Sergey.
What are we doing here? Is that Sergey? Is that?
I think that's Sergey.
It's not silent. Okay. Yeah. Guys, Mississippi State. I just trust the coach here. They're gonna get to the dance. They might be fighting on that bubble for a while, but they're gonna get to the dance. I like some of the guys they brought in. I like the Epps fit. I think that fits. Epps, from my recollection, was pretty good on defense, I thought. So, of course, I feel like if you're going to be a Chris Chan's guy, you got to be able to play defense. So, Mac, you got Hail State dancing?
I do. Because Jan's, the floor is always high. Those 3 years right there, 21 wins, all 3 years. 8-10 every single year in the SEC, and he's finished in 9th place all 3 years. So I think it's going to be more of the same. This is like the definition of consistency. Last year was their worst defensive team, but best offensive team, and they still found a way to have the same record. So I like the backcourt, and I like some of the pieces in the front court that they added. So yeah, sign me up for another NCAA tournament with Jans. He'll get the most out of this group.
Yeah, Mac kind of took a couple of the nuggets that I had because, it was hard to notice, I guess. But yeah, Chris Jans is a terrific coach coming in from New Mexico State. Got the most out of his teams there. And here at Mississippi State, I think he's struggling to find that identity that necessarily works. Because in D1, in year one, the defense was tremendous. Top 10 nationally, but the Bulldogs were inept on offense. I think they lost to Pitt in the first 4 that year. In year 2, there was an offensive sport by freshman Josh Hubbard that aided a top 75 offense to supplement a top 25 defense. But, last year they really leaned into a bunch of offensive-minded portal grabs in the backcourt. Hail State had a top 25 offense, but the defense dipped further than I even thought the floor could be, to 46th nationally and 10th in the SEC compared to the previous two top 5 defenses in the league. All 3 seasons, 8 wins, like Max said. Maybe that's the ceiling at Mississippi State, because MSU's only won more than 8 games in the SEC 3 times in the last 13 seasons. Maybe Jan's able to find the happy medium with this team, but for now, I'm also in the same boat as Mac, where I'm predicting them to finish in that 8-win ballpark that we've seen year after year after year. I've got them in that area. So,
and the schedule, man, the schedule. See, they didn't pull on LSU. They open up next Wednesday against North Alabama. Then they're in Sioux Falls, heading to the Pentagon, take on Iowa State. Then they get Southeast Louisiana. Then on Peacock, unfortunately, is the game against K-State in Kansas City. Hey, go the distance. They also get Nebraska or New Mexico. If it's Nebraska, go the distance. Then they get New Orleans and Starkville. They get SMU in Starkville. That's a cool game. The SEC ACC Challenge. They get Georgia Tech and Atlanta. They also get San Francisco, but they're playing in Tupelo, Mississippi. Hey, San Francisco, go the distance.
Tupelo.
They also get Utah in Salt Lake City on December 13th. Their website, shout out to their website, because they get the Long Island fucking Sharks on Tuesday, December 16th. Rod Strickland comes to Stark Vegas. And then they get the Memphis Tigers. I love this game on the schedule. December 20th there. I will be watching that one in Stark Vegas. And then they end the non-con with Alabama State in Starkville. See, but that's enough. See, that one, comparing that to LSU, you're like, okay, Iowa State, K-State, Nebraska or New Mexico, SMU, Georgia Tech, San Francisco, Utah, Memphis. That's enough. I'm satisfied. Next, you guys, any of those games? I love that Memphis game. Play that every year. I think they do already, but I'm saying that's my favorite one there.
It's got some regionality to it.
Yeah,
So yeah. Jan schedules well, and Hail State back in the dance.
Shout out to Iowa State scheduling Mississippi State the first week of the year. Step forward.
Yeah, Sioux Falls though. Hey, Mississippi State, go the distance. Next up, we got Dennis Gates, Mizzou. Which Dennis Gates we're gonna get?
Yeah, I don't know.
25 win year one, then 8, then 22. So we're due for an 8-win season here.
Yeah. 8, they had 0 in the conference.
Them in South Carolina just alternate. They go. Look, they return Anthony Robinson the second. They also return Trent Pierce, no relation to Ricky. And then Mark Mitchell, the former Duke forward there, who played really well for them a season ago. Jacob Cruz is also back. Got the extra JUCO year there. He's experienced. Batang, the big man, is also back. Played about 6.5 minutes a game. I don't even know if that qualifies as big these days. He's 6'6". But T.O. Barrett also back. So they actually returned like quite a bit of production considering these SEC rosters. They went out and brought in Sebastian Mack from UCLA. I think that's the one that's got the fans excited there. Sean Phillips from Arizona State, and then Javon Porter from LMU. He lit it up at LMU with those Lions. Also brought in West Virginia transfer Jaden Stone, who did not play it last year, but he was at Detroit, the hospital prior to that, and also Luke Northweather from Oklahoma. They lost, a decent amount of production from a season ago with, Caleb Grill and Bates and Perkins and stuff all gone. But, I tend to think it's regression, but I also think that it's not going to be as bad as that 8-win season. They'll be solid enough, but I expect regression here. Mac, am I crazy?
I would say split the difference between the two. Probably around a 17, 18 win team. I think this will probably be a bubble team. It is big getting Mark Mitchell back, but for another year, can they build off the momentum that they stole back after that horrible year 2 years ago? Mac coming over from UCLA is a veteran as well. So they lost a lot of guys that played meaningful minutes on that NCAA tournament team. So I think that they're going to be a bubble team. I probably have them just below the middle of the pack.
Guys, last year, I was not buying any of what you guys are trying to sell me with Dennis Gates coming off an 0-18 season. Turns out you guys are a little bit more right on Missouri than I was last year. This year, I'm diving into the 3-foot deep end of the pool head first on Missouri. The Tigers, they've had 2 top 10 offenses in 3 seasons under Gates. Of course, the 0-18 team was not a top 10 offense nationally, but last year, Missouri had the second highest free throw rate in the country. And Gates is going all in on these downhill physical guards. And the front court's deep. I think they've got some really good defenders there. Mark Mitchell, he's a big piece of the team's offense. Last year, he put up 14-5 in his first season in the SEC, and I think he's going to take another step with even more runway this year of being like the go-to guy in the offense if they're not running it through the guards. Everybody on this team, they're aggressive rebounders, and I really like Missouri this year. I can see a unique identity in this team. Downhill, physical, rebounders. They're going to get after it on the glass, and I think that's going to make the Tigers a tough team to prep for in this conference, where like it's just a different, unique identity when a lot of teams are going with these dynamic 3-point shooting offenses. I can see a world where Missouri's top 5 in the SEC. I really do think I can get there with the Tigers. I don't personally have them top 5. I have Missouri 6th. I'm relatively high on the Tigers this year in Dennis Gates.
Here, I was thinking Howard would be live on November 3rd when they're hosting. They're hosting. Shout out to Dennis Gates and shout out to Mizzou for playing at Howard. More of that, please. College basketball.
They have lost by games before under Gates.
I mean, I'm just excited to see. Shit, I should probably go to that game. But the problem is that I'll be in Rock Hill, South Carolina. But so the schedule is I'm just taken back by some of Bienick's comments. Top 5 potentially.
Yeah.
I mean,
The fuck is that?
Yeah,
we're gonna disagree on that team.
Yeah. At Howard to open the season, fun game. Then they're home to
Clark is agreeing with me. That's not a good sign
Clark
for
knows
you.
ball. Clark knows ball. I know.
Yeah.
I know Clark, man.
You don't like disagreeing with Clark.
I don't. He knows his shit. All right. I've so shout out to Clark. They take on SEMO in the second game. Regionality, like that one. Then VMI, the Keydets, coming into Columbia, Missouri on November 9th. Then Minnesota, the Gophs. That's a shame it's not at the Barn, one of the greatest venues in the history of planet Earth. Then they get Prairie View in Columbia. There is some fluff on this goddamn schedule, man. Then South Dakota, then South Carolina State, then Cleveland State. Then they make a trip to Notre Dame, part of the ACC SEC Challenge there on December 2nd. Then the Kansas game, but it's in Kansas City, Missouri.
That's horrible.
The distance. Go the distance. Then Alabama State, Bethune-Cookman. They take on every damn school in the SWAC. Did they join the SWAC? Did I miss that news? December 22nd, they also get Illinois. That game should be played every year. I'm glad in football that unfortunately has gone away, but I love that game on the schedule. Kansas game should always happen too, but on campus. I mean, but there is some fluff on this fucking schedule. Let me repeat some of these. Howard, South SEMO, VMI, Prairie View, South Dakota, South Carolina State, Cleveland State, Alabama State, Bethune-Cookman, Mac. They're cooking the books over here in Columbia, Missouri, aren't they?
Oh, this is the SEC, man. You got that damn handbook.
Cooking the books. Page 34. Cook the books.
This is a soft non-con for sure. I do like the Cleveland State just because Rob Summers is his former assistant, and that is where Dennis Gates came from.
That's true. I do like that. Hooking them up. Bienick, what are you doing here? Schedule wise, what do you make of it?
It's very weak. That's what I make of it. But Dennis Gates has done this basically every year. Nothing new.
All
He
right.
needed it 2 years ago.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Look, before I get to the next one, I do want to let the good people know that we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Everybody knows Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times the amount of money you enter. But now in select states, Underdog has new team picks. All right. Yes, team picks. That's right. Sides and totals. Great option for anyone looking to get in on the action. So hop on over to Underdog. They got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is crushing it in college football, NFL, and they just added NBA. College hoops will be up soon. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model that you build, and you could win $1,000. Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app, of course, for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm. Use that promo code SGPN25. All right. Next up, we are talking Porter Moser. All right. Can we just say this? This is another guy that's going to escape it because their athletic director, who's been there since like the 90s, is stepping down in December. I don't think they're going to fire. I don't think the new AD will come right in January and fire Moser, even though we know he might be on the hot seat a little bit there. I guess
we gotta.
What's that?
I gotta call out our guy Mac on this too. So we're going from Missouri so we went from Mississippi State to Missouri.
No Ole Miss is your
there's no Mississippi there, but then we're gonna go Oklahoma before Ole Miss. I just need to know the alphabet that they learn in
Wikipedia
in West Virginia.
Wikipedia.
What the fuck is that?
Let's see. Let me check my Wikipedia page where I get all the coaches right in order.
Oh, that is not a good look, my friend.
Maybe I just typed it in wrong. And I rushed through it.
The
Anyway.
only thing on my mind, Gene, was pussy.
I did on fucking because it's on Wikipedia. Look,
blame it on Dr. Wikipedia.
Yeah,
then Missouri, then Oklahoma, then Ole Miss. Copy and paste, man.
It didn't register in your mind that shit, OL comes before OK.
And I was like, all right, put it there. Fuck it. Let's talk about these Sister Jean, rest in peace, Porter Moser guys.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
I might have been distracted for all I know.
He's not going to get fired this year. I disagree, Frank, because I think the fact that everything else is going on, I think he's probably safe for this year. I think he's probably safe for this year just because of everything else going on. Venables is one that I don't know that they're happy with Venables.
They shouldn't be.
That's what I'm saying. So you have a lot. You have the longest tenured athletic director, I think, in the country, or one of them, retiring in December, right? So, I mean, are you really going to be right on the job in January and fire this guy by, I think you probably want a longer leash, right? I don't know. But here we are talking Sooner basketball. I'm sorry, guys. I miss the days of Oklahoma being really good in basketball.
They could care less about basketball.
They used to be. See what happened to that NBA team. I don't know how these bozos bought into that NBA trash over college hoops, man. I mean, they had a great fan base for so long, man. Back in the Big 8 days, I used to watch the shit out of them. They return Dayton Forsyth. That's and Muhammad Wagyu.
Waggy.
Yeah, I like to say Wagyu. It's making me hungry. But Nigel Pack, baby, come back.
He's still in college.
How's that possible? The fucking way you did. Robert Pack still in college basketball? What the fuck is going on?
He only played
here?
like 7 games last year. I think it was under the 8, like for a red shirt.
Yeah, he got his fucking money.
It was a very, very timely, injury.
You should have to give your money back if you contribute that little.
That dude's been in college for a long time. Xavier Brown comes in from St. Joe's. I actually like that get. I think that's a nice get.
I do
balled out with St. Joe's. Darion Reed from Alabama comes in. Tay Davis from the Irish. That's an interesting get. Jaden Jones is someone that was out for the season last year, but prior to that was part of that Dan Munson Long Beach State team. And then they have a slew of 4-stars coming in with Kool Atak, Alec Blair, Kai
Baseball
Rogers.
player too.
There we go. Andres, a Danish. They have a Danish guy. See, it says freshman, but we never know how fucking old. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, has this guy played 7 years in pro basketball? Andres hoisting the trophy. Will the Sooners be next year? You know what? I kind of think this team will be more of the same. I think it'll be somewhere right around the bubble. Maybe they get in, maybe they don't. I'm gonna teeter towards no, but I could totally see Moser. I feel like he's a coach that does more with less.
Yeah.
Than opposed. Like sometimes one of those years you look at the roster, you're like, oh, they could do it this year, and they were trash. So probably that 15-17 season. Fringe tournament team, true bubble team to me. Mac, you agree?
Yes. I mean, that's what they've been in 4 years. The 3 years in the Big 12, they would be great in the non-con, and then they would just get beat up in the Big 12. And then last year, they did the exact same thing in the SEC. They take care of business. Another 6-12 SEC team that found a way to get to the NCAA tournament.
Weren't they undefeated in non-con last year too?
Yeah, and then they fall apart. They do this it doesn't matter. They even change leagues and they do the same shit. So it's that's what they've been under Moser. They hit a wall in February. So I think that this team, like you said, I don't think they're horrible. I think they're probably going to be a 7 or 8 win team in conference play, and they'll be right on the bubble. Just having to replace all that production from last year's tournament team. Fears was a stud.
Yeah, I see Oklahoma as a high floor, low ceiling team this year.
Yeah.
So kind of the same things that you guys have said about the teams and just different phrasing. I'm so close to actually really falling in love with this team, but Porter Moser has not been able to adapt to having a true big man that can play like defensive bully ball around the rim and protect it. Like, there truly hasn't been a presence down low in Moser's tenure at Oklahoma. In the SEC last year, the Sooners were just kind of hot butter down low, 324th in opponent 2-point percentage. So they didn't really address that either. So that's a big hole. But outside of that, I love this team's like 6 or 7 man rotation. Nigel Pack got hurt, wasn't really part of the Miami disaster because he checked out early. But he's proven to be a pretty good player in college basketball. And then you got Darion Reed, who was a top 15 recruit last year out of high school. And he comes in to be a wing. He had like almost no playing time with Alabama. He's got a lot more runway now. You also have Tate Davis, who's a super steady piece on an injury-ravaged Notre Dame team last year. And then Xavier Davis was a bright spot in what everybody believed to be a poorly coached St. Joseph's program. So, like, coming into Oklahoma, I think he's going to be a pretty good offensive piece for sure. And then both Jaden Jones and Jeff Nwanko round out the rotation there. 2 stud-up transfers that were hurt a season ago but have plenty of potential. That one hole that I talk about early, it's going to get exploited in the SEC and keep OU from like double-digit wins. But I think an 8-win year, they'll be on the NCAA tournament bubble. I agree with you guys.
Well, they opened up the season against another tournament team from a year ago, the St. Francis Red Flash, who are dropping down to D3. They're going to be terrible this year, by the way, St. Francis. But for $2, you can get in this game. And get this, not only do you get a $2 ticket, you get a beer, a soda, and popcorn. What's going on over there?
Hilarious.
How's that
Get
possible?
people in the door.
What's going on right there? Porter Moser, that coming out of your salary? What the fuck is going on in Norman, Oklahoma?
They're desperate to get anybody.
Yeah. May I
I
suggest?
think Max said it. The Thunder killed both Oklahoma and Oklahoma State basketball.
Yeah, there's nobody.
May I suggest having free pieces of pussy? Just an idea. Just an idea. Look, Gonzaga, they go to Spokane on November 8th, take on these dogs. Then they put out an APB. No Doc Bradley as the Golden Lions travel to Norman, Oklahoma on Tuesday, November 11th. Then a game against Nebraska, November 15th at Sioux Falls in the Pentagon. Go the distance. Then Oral Roberts at the Lloyd Noble Center there in Norman, Oklahoma on the 20th of November. Then Alcorn State. I mean, there's some fucking fluff here. I like the Oral Roberts run because they're in Tulsa, but taking on Alcorn State Sunday, November 23rd. Then Porter returns to his city that he had a lot of magic in, Chicago, Illinois, to take on Marquette. Go the distance. What is that? 45 minutes? Come on.
Marquette will have that building full.
That's true. That is true.
There's no need.
There will be no Oklahoma fans. You might
that
as well
is Marquette South.
Still, I just feel
Milwaukee
like why
South.
not? Yeah. Then ACC SEC Challenge there in Winston-Salem. Maybe I'll go and catch the Sooners December 2nd. Then they are in Phoenix, not Tempe, taking on Arizona State. Go the distance. Then they are taking on Oklahoma State in Bedlam on the hardwood in Oklahoma City. I mean, I like them playing it, but okay. Cooler on campus.
Play that on home court.
Yeah.
I'll play that on
Cooler
home.
on campus. Then they get these hoppy kangaroos, UMKC, on December 16th. And then these Hatters of Stetson. I mean, there's some shitty teams on this thing. December 22nd. Then Mississippi Valley State, maybe the king of all shit, on December 29th.
They'll cover that game, though. They're not going to get blown out against Oklahoma.
I mean, it's a weird schedule because there are a couple games. But I have like St. Francis towards the bottom of all college basketball teams.
They play number 365 and 364 on KenPom.
I was about to say, I honestly, just off the top of my head off this, I would have St. Francis, Pine Bluff, Alcorn State, and Mississippi Valley State. And I don't know about Stetson. Maybe I need to get schooled on Stetson, but I have those other ones I mentioned. That's like bottom 10 schools.
They have 7 300+ ranked teams.
Thought you
God
wanted to
damn,
leave the Big 12.
Oklahoma.
Hey, but they do mix
the model over.
They do mix it up a little bit more with the like high majors. This is your Big 12 recipe, and they are a Big 12 team. So
Let me pull up Iowa State. Iowa State's only got,
dude,
they got 5.
get out of here trying to compare them.
Oh, dude, Iowa State's schedule is way harder than this. This is ridiculous.
They've got, like you said, they've got 5 300s, a couple 200s as well. Like, this is the Iowa State playbook.
Oh,
Can I tell you what really bothers me is they have this preseason scrimmage game, whatever the fuck. This past Friday, they played Wisconsin in Milwaukee. So they made the trip to fucking Milwaukee. All right. They made the fucking trip to Milwaukee, but on November 28th, in the regular season, it bothers me, man. It bothers me what we're doing to this damn sport. All right. Like, why couldn't you switch that around and play that game in Chicago when it doesn't matter, and then actually go to Wisconsin somebody pass me the shotgun. Anyway, next up, let's get out of this one. Chris Beard, no miss. Check your alphabet. Chris Beard is.
I was drinking.
I love that 2022-23 season, 7-1.
Yep,
Circle
something happened that year. Got interrupted. Got screwed.
Obviously, phenomenal basketball coach. Took Texas Tech. Should have won the Natty that year. Really, just a crazy game. So they don't return a lot. They return just Malik Dia, who did play well for them a season ago.
Very well.
What's that?
Very well.
Yeah. And then they went out, man, and they brought in a French guy who is 22 years old. Lias Kamardine.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. Corin Johnson comes in from Louisville. Didn't play a lot at Louisville. Be interesting. AJ Storr. Baby, come back.
How is he still in school?
Unbelievable.
What year is he?
Yeah.
4, I think.
Yeah.
Different school, all 4 years. But
that
4.
dilutes it a little bit. But
St. John's, Wisconsin, Kansas. Was he at Illinois or no?
Unbelievable.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Corey Chest comes in from LSU. Nice in-conference transfer there. Another Louisville transfer, and James Scott. Also, Kiza Giffa from High Point. I think he's a 5th-year senior. Travis Perry from Kentucky coming in, as well as Butler Augusto Cassia. Guys, I actually think I prefer last year's roster, but Chris Beard is very good at coaching. Tournament team, of course. I don't know that I am in love with the roster, but I just think they'll find a way to get there. Mac?
All of Beard's rosters at Ole Miss haven't really jumped off the page. I'll just say that.
Yeah, but he's still 44-24.
Yeah.
Even with and Ole Miss was struggling before he got there. Under God, who was the guy right before him? It was the guy that he was at Middle Tennessee. Kermit
Davis, right?
Yeah, Kermit Davis. So yeah, I mean, Beard's a winner, man. He does this everywhere he goes. Texas Tech, they miss out on the tournament just like Ole Miss year 1, but he won 20 games that year. Then year 2 is always the year that they have the big jump, like last year going to Sweet 16. And then year 3 they usually sustain it. We just never got to see year 3 with Beard at Texas because of the shit off the court. So you can make the argument too. He should have won the national championship at Texas Tech, and he may have won it at Texas if he got to finish that team rather than Rodney Terry coach him. So, yeah, I will blindly back Chris Beard. New faces, a lot of journeymen on this roster, but Beard finds a way to get these guys to buy in. They'll be in the tourney.
Yeah, Chris Beard's had Ole Miss with a top 25 offense and defense last year. A whole lot better than it was in year 1 with the Rebs.
Mm-hmm.
This year, once again, they have plenty of experience and physicality. That's something that you got to love in Beard's systems, especially that helps out that defense tremendously. The Rebels will have 6 upperclassmen in their rotation, and I think they're built from the rim out because the front court's really strong with Malik Dia returning. And then Corey Chest and James Scott are I think they're good fits for what Beard's typically looking for defensively. And the ceiling outcome depends on kind of finding the right combination of these incoming portal guards. I think there's a good chance that AJ Storr turns back into that offensive monster that we saw him with Wisconsin, because on paper, Malik Dia and then the rest of the roster kind of lacks offensive pop. Last year, I just think that the Kansas team didn't really click, and you had DeJuan Harris and Hunter Dickinson kind of running the show over there. And AJ Storr didn't really make a fuss out of it, whether it was self or just lack of runway, just kind of settled in as a wing. And he was never really a great deep ball shooter. And that was kind of his role with Kansas, and that didn't work from the get-go. I think he's going to be on the ball more with Ole Miss, and I think that's more of a good thing. I think that Beard might be able to unlock Storr back to that Badgers type of AJ Storr. And I think if that happens and he's kind of running the show offensively and everything else kind of flows around it, and then you have Malik Dia, who's one of the better big men last year, and he'll play way more minutes than just 20 a game, I think a top half finish is in store for Ole Miss again. So, yeah, I'm right with you guys in just the thought process of just blindly back Beard, and he'll have the team playing good basketball.
It's an interesting schedule too, because they kind of Big 12 did here too, or Iowa State did, whatever you want to say. Like the first off, they did just get whooped in an exhibition against St. Mary's by 15 in Oxford. I don't know what that means, but they start out with Sela, Southeast Louisiana. Then they get ULM, who's trash in the Sun Belt. Then they get Memphis. Okay, that one's good. Then Cal State Bakersfield, who fired their coach.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
having
that's a disaster.
Yeah,
prostitution ring.
Yeah.
Not for the basketball players, for his own pocketbook, right? It wasn't the Patino situation actually. Then they get the Governors of Austin Peay. Then they travel to Palm Springs to take on Iowa, and then the winner or loser of Utah Grand Canyon. Then they get Miami and Jai Lucas in the ACC SEC Challenge in Oxford on December 2nd. Then on Peacock, boo, but awesome game as they go to the Garden to take on St. John's. Then they get Southern Miss, Alabama A&M coming to. Well, wait, they're actually playing Southern Miss in Biloxi, Mississippi, for some strange reason. I guess that's not that bad. I don't mind that as much. Alabama A&M in Tupelo, Mississippi. Yeah, whatever the fuck. Then they get NC State in Greensboro, North Carolina. Go the distance. Then they get Alcorn State in Oxford, Mississippi. But there is some fluff there with Alcorn State, Alabama A&M, Southern Miss, ULM, Austin Peay, Bakersfield, Sela. There's a little fluff in there. It's not as bad as the previous team, but schedule's a little bit of bullshit. They're cooking the books a little bit there, just getting it right under the fire. Mac, your thoughts on that schedule?
It is a little soft. I'm looking forward to the game at the Garden. They do have. I mean, I guess that's the challenge, the Miami SEC versus ACC, but a nice runway to find their identity because with all these new faces, and the Ole Miss game is always a good one too. The Ole Miss Memphis game with regionality.
I was just about to say, I think Ole Miss smokes Memphis. Memphis has a lot of moving parts over there.
Yeah, could be.
And it's a big coaching mismatch.
Yeah, big year for Penny.
What happened last year in that game? I can't remember.
Memphis beat them last year.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
won by 17.
It was early though. It was November,
Tennessee.
I think, right?
Yeah.
No, it was later. December 28th.
Damn. All right. Lamont Paris, South Carolina. This is I feel like
we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this one, right?
Well, I got to win in the conference.
Them and Missouri aren't allowed to be good the same year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is their year to be good again. So I will. Look, they're bringing in a ton of transfers. But some of them familiar faces. Michi Johnson, this fucking guy.
The double boomerang.
He must have like a girlfriend in each town, and he just keeps going back and forth.
Like, I can't do this job anymore, guys.
That's a great point. Ohio State, South Carolina, Ohio State, South Carolina.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, he might.
He can't have the same broad for more than 9 months at a time. He goes, I gotta get back to
a couple of flames.
Just unbelievable. Everybody I know that thinks this team's going to be trash, and look, they bring in Michi Johnson back. He's familiar with the program. He's a returning starter, if you want, in a way. They have Mike Sharvage. How do I pronounce this dude's
Mongolian
name
Mike.
Yeah. From the Utah Utes coming in. Norden Kapik from UC San Diego. Remember him? He played well a season ago for Eric Olin. They also have Christ. Sandoko from Providence coming in. Elijah Strong from Boston College coming in. Kobe Knox from South Florida. Cam Scott is a guy returning. He hit the portal, then he said, no. I want to be a part of this experience here now that Michi's back. Miles Stute is also back. They got a 4-star that they're excited about in Eli Ellis, the guard spot. Look, he does less with more. Surprise team. They don't finish dead last. They do not finish dead last. Mac?
I mean, I like getting Michi Johnson back because he was a part of that really good team, the one that won 26 games. But there's so many question marks on this roster. So Can they have the magical season where they won all those close games and they're really good defensively? Maybe, but I think they'll probably be around 500 overall. I got them in the bottom tier of the league again.
Yeah, for me, yet again, just South Carolina is not a sexy roster, in my opinion. The positive outlook for the Gamecocks is that maybe they're a seesaw program that Colby's been talking about. The 2024 team, I don't think had a sexy preseason roster, but it all clicked for a 13 win year.
I believe
in the
I
SEC.
called for them that year, and I'm still,
You did.
Still
You did. And then
the gambling streets are still talking about that one.
And last year they fell through the basement. So
I did not take them. I thought they would suck last year.
So there's 7 upperclassmen here in the rotation. So there's experience, plenty of positional size and length. I just don't think that this group's going to excel shooting wise. And I haven't bought in the Lamont and Paris so far. So why should I start now?
You should start now because of the schedule. They open up with North Carolina A&T next Tuesday. Win.
So that's the worst team in the country.
Then they get Southern Miss, who one of the worst teams in the Sun Belt, if not the worst. Then they get Presbyterian, not known for their great basketball play. Then they get the Horrors of Radford, who are breaking in a brand new head coach. They will be undefeated there, and then they get.
Well, last year they were 10-3 in the non-con, and then just won 2 more games. So
yeah, but I buy into this shit this year because then they get Butler and why play in White Springs, West Virginia? I don't know, but they get Butler in White Springs.
Oh, this
West
is the
Virginia.
ballroom.
This is the Greenbrier.
Yeah, this is the ballroom. Yeah.
Please stop. Just go to Hinkle. You could play that at Hinkle. It'd be amazing for the sport. Then they
what
get
a terrible field.
Yeah. Then they get Northwestern. I'm falling asleep as I read this. Right. In White Springs. Those games are winnable though, guys. Those are winnable games. And then Charleston Southern.
Virginia's the other team in the ballroom there. So
okay. Then they come back home. They get Charleston Southern. Then they welcome Mike Young and Virginia Tech. I heard Coach Young telling me that's a huge game for him on the season, but that's a winnable game still. Then they get Stetson, Ray Finkel's alma mater, on December 6th, followed by the Citadel. And then the rivalry game, the Palmetto Showdown there, the Palmetto, they're at Little John Coliseum on December 16th. What's up?
Their only true road game.
Yeah. And then they get South Carolina State on the 22nd. Guys,
watch out for that game.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, right before Christmas. That is a danger. And then they get Albany. I forgot they get the Great Danes coming down there on December 30th, right before New Year's. Tip your. Great game to watch the ball drop. But guys, that talk about a runway. Talk about a runway. I'm telling you, they're gonna surprise some people this year. Not gonna be incredible, but they're gonna surprise some people. Shout out to Brian Sanchez in the chat.
I mean, maybe they could finish like 13th or 14th. I just think there's other way better rosters.
I don't feel like his roster though. The year that they 2 years ago?
Yeah,
I felt like that roster wasn't sexy either. But I mean, you're right.
Correct.
When you look at the roster, you're just like, but that's a great runway to build confidence. I'll say that.
Pass.
All right. Next up, Rick Barnes, Slick Rick. Look at this guy.
Finally,
he looks so old there.
I know.
The bottom half of the alphabet's been sucking here. We're about time we've gotten to a good team.
Tennessee, the Vols. How old is Rick Barnes right now? Can someone check that right now?
Yeah, he's been around.
This photo is not doing him any favors.
Rick is 71, man. He's up there.
Yeah. Look, Jacoby Gillespie comes in from Maryland. That is a nice get.
Yes.
Amari Abram also from La Tech. We talked La Tech like a week or two ago, where I said, like, man, that team was frustrating because I thought they were actually good, but they sucked. It was weird. The talent level was surprisingly better than you would think at Louisiana Tech. They also brought in Jalen Carey from Vanderbilt and 5-star freshman Nate Ament. They returned Cade Phillips, Felix Okpara, Bishop Boswell, all back. Same with JP Estrella, who was injured for a lot of last season. And then they they have some of these 4-star freshmen in Amari Evans and Dwayne Brown, and then Ethan Begg, Israeli born. He's 30, not
Hilarious.
30, but he's 20. What is he? So he has 4 years of eligibility, and he is, or I'm sorry, 3 years of eligibility. They're going to give him only 3 years of eligibility. So he will graduate when he is, 26
years old,
26, maybe even 27. They also brought in a guy from France, from Monaco, Clarence Masamba. Who knows how old he is? He's like, remember we used to watch those World League or World Series baseball? You have like pitchers. You'd have like the Dominican Republic playing, and like the fucking pitcher would be like 40 years old, but he looks like he's 12. Remember they were doing that shit for a while. I feel like just cooking the books. These Euros coming in, very similar vibe, but Tennessee is going to be
Dominicans
very good
do other shady things too that will take a while. We don't have to talk about it.
Damn,
yeah, just coming in on Dominicans. Huh?
Played college baseball with 75% Hispanics, so
now you're coming for the Hispanics, huh?
Well,
these
Dominicans are Hispanic.
I know, but I'm just saying that. Look, they were cooking the books.
So Wander Franco, the star for Tampa Bay Rays, like a few years ago, he had 4 other brothers named Wander Franco. So the family would just take the most talented Wander Franco and send him to the MLB with the youngest birth certificate. That's what they did.
Smart.
It's extremely smart. But
They're sitting over here looking at American dollars, these filthy fucking all-you-can-eat buffets, and you fucks can't even kick us a little bit of money, right? That's what they're saying. So goddamn it, God forbid we cook our books a little bit so we get a pitcher get $100 million contract. All right.
Yeah. The only issue about Wander Franco in that specific example is that maybe he was like the middle-aged Wander Franco, but he was dating the youngest from Wander Franco's girlfriend. So
I can't keep track of all these wands that you're talking about.
Man, Bienick not making any vacation plans to the DR. All right.
Yeah.
I'm down to go though. Shit, there's probably 30 neutral site basketball games played there. Guys, Tennessee's going to be good again, but they will not. They will choke in March again. Surprise, surprise. But they will be very good. I feel good about it. Mac, your thoughts?
Great breakdown. Yeah, I mean, we know what Tennessee's going to be, man. They're going to have size. They're going to be super physical, and Barnes and company are going to make it a football match every time they play. So 3 straight second weekends, back-to-back Elite Eights. They just need to get to a Final Four. And I mean, he's turned this into a nice basketball job after Bruce Pearl. So yeah, Barnes has done a great job there. It's hard to believe he's already been there a decade.
Unbelievable. And Bienick basically with his comments.
I'm just here to bring diversity to this set here, give the kind of white man's perspective on things from the point guard position.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the Vols?
Rick Burns has had 5 straight top 5 nationally ranked defenses at Tennessee. But it's the 2 straight top 30 offenses that he's really clicked it on the offensive side of the ball. That's unlocked the 2 straight Elite Eights that Mac was talking about. But Zakai Ziegler is gone, and Jacoby Gillespie comes in to take his place. And I think that will immediately make this Volunteers offense different than these recent seasons, because Zakai Ziegler, Gillespie's way more dynamic offensively than Ziegler. He averaged 15 points per game with 5 assists, shot 40.5% from deep on 6 threes a game with Maryland last year. However, I'm not sure who Tennessee's Dalton Connect or Chaz Lanier is. And that's what I'm talking about, like different offense or this year. Because the top candidate for that maybe is Nate Ament, that freshman. He looks and sounds really good. Another really good freshman in this class. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Felix Okpara, I think, is an excellent big man. And he can do a little bit of everything. Averaged over a block a game last year in the SEC. What nerves me, though, is Tennessee looked like they ran out of NIL money for their bench. It's a little too inexperienced and young. And the difference between the Vols and other SEC contenders is their star freshman isn't on the bench. It's in the starting five. So we'll see what happens with the Volunteers this year. I think they're a contender for the title.
I mean, for regular season, Rick, of course. I mean, shit. That's what he does. Let's talk about the schedule. Sorry, I was just I didn't load it up because I was just going down a rabbit hole in these Dominican Republicans. Yeah, that too, maybe. I was looking at how many there are in the states. All right, I can't talk, but look, Tennessee's basketball schedule. They just lost to Duke the other night, or a little while ago. Do you guys hear my phone ringing? Sometimes I hear my phone ringing in my sound.
No,
in my headphones,
right.
and it bothers me.
I liked what I saw from Tennessee. I know Duke ended up winning with Boozer, but Tennessee looked good still too, I thought.
Well, they open up with Mercer out of the SoCon November 3rd. Then they get the Norse of Northern Kentucky November 8th, followed by North Florida on November 12th, all in Knoxville. Then the Rice Owls, who come into Knoxville, Tennessee on November 17th. Tennessee State on November 20th comes into Knoxville as well. And then they hit Vegas for the Players Era Tournament to take on Rutgers on the 24th of November, followed by Houston on the 25th. And I think there's a third game scheduled for either the 26th or 27th. And then in the ACC SEC Challenge, they take on Syracuse in Syracuse. They should be able to get that one. Then the Music City Madness as they go to Nashville to take on Illinois. Hey, Illinois, go the distance.
Well, yeah, seriously, they played in Champaign last year. Why is that not in Knoxville?
That's what I'm talking about. They're making it shitty. They're making it shitty. Then they get Louisville in Knoxville. Well, credit to that one. That's a great game. Then Gardner Webb on the 21st coming to Knoxville, as well as South Carolina State on December 30th. I mean, there's enough meat on the bone to respect it. That I'm not going to shit on that one too much. There's enough potentially there, but I will shit on that game being played in Nashville. Anything else stand out from the schedule, guys?
Nah, they'll lose. They'll probably lose one or two in the non-con. They'll be ready to go by SEC play.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we will talk about Sean Miller and the Texas Longhorns.
What a dirty picture that is right there.
Yeah. Fade him. Jordan Pope is back. Tremont Mark is back. I mean, look, their teams are always talented, but they go out, they get Simeon Wilcher from St. John's. They get Dalen Swain from Xavier that follows coach over, as well as Lacina Traore, who was previously at Long Beach State, I think before that. I think I saw him live at Long Beach State. Yeah, if memory serves me correct. Camden Hyde coming in from Purdue. Matas Vocatitis coming
Very
in from
good
FAU. This roster is good. They got a 4-star freshman, John Clark. Can we get more names like that? John Clark coming in. And Nick Cody is still on that bench. Got some burn a season ago, as well as Cole Bott. All right. Yeah, I'm going to fade them. They missed the NCAA tournament by a little bit just because they're Texas. They always underachieve, and that's the story of their program, their history, and what they're about. Mac, your thoughts?
I got them going to the tournament. I think they'll lose in the first round because that's what Sean Miller and Texas both do usually. So they get there and then they bow out early. They maybe lose in the playing game, but I like the pieces. They're definitely an older team and have some good experience, especially in the backcourt. And Miller, for the most part, his floor is pretty high. He just doesn't win the big game in March ever.
Last year, though, I don't think he really met preseason expectations with Xavier. I thought they were supposed to be pretty good, and they were not.
Yeah.
Sure, there were injuries that caused that, but I think Miller could have done better with the X-Men in the second time around, just in total in his tenure, and he wasn't able to do that. But Texas kind of threw him a life raft. So he gets to restart the clock in Austin. No better place, right? I think the defense is going to be nasty for Sean Miller. For what it's worth, Dalen Swain, Tremont Mark, Simeon Wilcher, all really good defenders. But maybe the biggest addition to the team was former K-State associate head coach Uric Malagi Mac. He had 3 top 40 defenses at K-State. That's been the only consistency with that program under Jerome Tang the last 3 years in the Little Apple. I'm a Jordan Pope fan. I liked him previously at Oregon State, and I think Cam Heide from Purdue is super athletic and a good portal gamble. This team's going to struggle on offense, just shooting it, but they're also not really strong at the 5. But I've got Texas as a tournament team too. I got them somewhere in the middle of this SEC cluster of teams. So, yeah,
they got the Dukies next week.
I was about to say, I think I might be at that game there. Once again, they're playing Duke in Charlotte. Go the distance.
That's a good game to go to because that Tuesday there's almost like nothing. They load up everything on Monday, and then that's like the premier game on Tuesday.
They love doing that shit every year.
Then they take on the Leopards of Lafayette on November 8th, followed by Fair Dick on November 12th. Then UMKC on the 15th. Then Ryder, the moving company, on November 18th. Pretty weak after the Duke game right there. But then they take on Arizona State and Maui. And then they get either Washington State or Chaminade. Shout out to Chaminade being in the Maui Invitational, as they always should be. And then they get a third game out in Maui, so that'll be intriguing. Then they got the ACC SEC Challenge, while they're hosting Virginia on December 3rd. That's an interesting game. Ryan Odom there, the new head coach of the Wahoos. Then they get the Southern Jaguars on December 8th, followed by a trip to Hartford, take on UConn. There we go. Then they come back home to take on Lemoyne, and then Maryland Eastern Shore. I mean, there is some fluff. There's some fluff here. But, yeah, I'm excited about that UConn game, I guess. And Maui, I love watching the Maui. I know Maui doesn't have as much heat, but some years that's the way it is. You don't think there's as many good programs in that thing, or the rosters aren't as good as you think, but sometimes that ends up being the best ones. So you never know. All right, let's jump to A&M.
Buckyball
rivals, yeah, Buckyball. Bucky McMillan has been pretty fire in college. In College Station, in college basketball. You look at his 99-52 record, and they should be an interesting team this year because they have a brand new roster. Chris McDermott is the lone player back who played 6 minutes a game last year. They went out and brought in players from everywhere. Jakari Lane from North Alabama played really well with the Lions. Pop Isaacs.
Why would
maybe
they
come back? This guy's been on everywhere.
Yeah.
Rylan Griffin comes in from Kansas. Mackenzie Mbako from Indiana. That's a nice get, some would say. Federico from Texas Tech. This team's hilarious.
So nice. You got to say it twice.
Yes. Ruben Dominguez. He is from Spain, and he's also probably 30. See, I think he's a
23.
That's ridiculous. Rashawn Agee from USC comes in. Ali Abdul-Adiba from SIU, the Salukis. Marcus Hill from the Pussy Pack. All these guys are 30. This team's going to be better than what we think. Josh Holloway from Samford follows Coach over. Jamie Vinson from Texas. That is disgusting, by the way. Absolutely disgusting to go from Texas to Texas A&M. Then Zach Clements.
His Texas coach left.
Still, don't go to A&M. Go anywhere. Go have some pride. Have some pride. All right. Go anywhere else. Anywhere else, really. But 4-star Jeremiah Green, they're excited about. This team is going to surprise people. Surprise team right here. They will not be a bottom 4 team like I've seen many project. This team is dancing, Mac. They're dancing. Write it. What are you doing here, Mac?
I got him in the NIT. There's just a lot of journeymen on this team.
A lot of age, though, man. That's got to be one of the old. Do we have an age chart for the SEC? I feel like this team's got to be one of the more experienced.
Here, Torvik has experience, and they are the oldest team. Are they the oldest team in the country, Bienick? They are the 6th oldest team.
That'll get you to the NCAA tournament. That'll get you to the NCAA tournament. I don't even think stay healthy.
I don't know
if the
whole
fucking team is old.
I don't know if Grambling State and Chicago State are good company there, though.
Well, you bite your tongue on Chicago State.
I mean, it's hard for me to buy into Pop Isaacs. I don't know what version of Pop Isaacs we're getting, and then Ryland Griffin coming over as well. He's also, and then Waku coming over from Indiana. So,
remember that when that guy got pulled over in the Taco Bell drive-thru?
Yes, and then Federico. I mean, Federico's been in college for fucking ever. Give me a 500 year to start buckyball. Interested to see if he's able to play that how he wants to play, because at Sanford he just pressed the shit out of everybody. I don't know if he can pull it off with this roster, or if he does what Shaka did at Texas and he kind of goes more to half court pressure defense.
By the way, Mac, the high major version of the NIT is the Crown, and that's probably where they're playing this year.
Nope.
I could see them being a Crown team and trying to win that money with all these old guys.
Yeah.
They're dancing this year.
So this is the main. I like the roster, I really do, but I have to lead it off with some negative, and this is the main reason why I don't have them as an NCAA tournament team. Bucky McMillan's never had a good offense or good defense. Sorry, he's had very good offenses. He's never had a good defense. You can look through all of his Sanford teams; they're all like mediocre defenses. And sure, the SoCon's a very good offensive league. The SEC, you're going to see even better offenses. So I can't get there with Bucky, especially on the defensive end of the floor. In 5 seasons at Sanford, he had 3 teams in the top 50 nationally in 3-point percentage, though. And all the teams basically had top 15 tempos. They love to run. So I think that's like when Colby talks about the air raid and the electric, fast-moving offenses on football fields, and the defense gets tired. That's exactly what you've got with Texas A&M probably this year. There are 9 upperclassmen in the expected rotation. Might help with the buy-in on the defensive end. Federico is a good enough rim protector, but there's not a lot of big men depth behind him, so that's a little bit of a question mark. I'm really excited to see Mbako at his natural position at the 4. Pop Isaacs was good at Creighton last year until he got hurt. So I think you guys need to slow the hate there.
I didn't shit on him. I just he transfers. He changes the scenery every 6 weeks. Is my
problem. He was at Houston too this offseason.
Is at Texas Tech. He's been every fucking where, man. This
and
guy.
Ryland Griffin was a good shooter at Alabama too. So like both of those guys are, I think, good wings. It's a ragtag bunch for sure that has some college experience, but to me, it's bottom half SEC team, no doubt, because of that. I can't bank on the defense being there at A&M.
Tournament team, you're gonna look back at this and say Dundee. That's why they pay you the big bucks. All right.
I mean, it's not a bold take. If you get 6 wins in the SEC, you're in the NCAA tournament.
Well, and if you look at this non-con, it's a fucking joke. Northwestern State out the gate, then Texas Southern, then they head to Stillwater. I like that game on the schedule to take on Oklahoma State. Then they get UCF in College Station. Montana comes to College Station. Manhattan, Mississippi Valley State. They get Florida State in Tampa, of all places. Go the distance. They get Pitt. I mean, that's an easy win, right, Mac? December 2nd in the ACC SEC Challenge up there in Pittsburgh. Then they go to Arlington, Texas to take on SMU. Go the distance. Then the Jacksonville Dolphins, Texas A&M Commerce, Prairie View. I mean, this thing, they're going to be just breezing through this thing. Yeah, you're sleeping on them. All right, next up. How many more damn teams are in these conferences?
Last one.
This is it.
Yeah.
Vandy, the Commodores.
Talking. Next up, we got Vanderbilt. Mark Byington. Great job a year ago with the Doors. Fun team to watch, too. They return Tyler Nickel, who played well for them, and Devin McLaughlin, no relation to Chester, as well as Tyler Tanner. All three of those back, and then a couple guys deep on that bench, Colson Messer and Miles Keefe returning as well. They go out and they bring in Frankie Collins, who's 30 also. How old is Frankie Collins?
He's been in college for a minute.
Yeah, this is at least his 5th year.
And so is Duke Miles.
Yeah, it's about to say, good Lord. Actually, sell me some stock on this team too. I believe these old teams in college basketball are the angle here. Jalen Washington also comes in from North Carolina. Cornell transfer AK Okereke. Yeah, I don't know. He comes in from Cornell. Tyler Harris from Washington. Mike James from the Pussy Pack / Louisville. Mason Nicholson from Jacksonville State comes in, and then George Kimball III from Eastern Kentucky. Now he's expected to be on the roster. Who knows? Who knows anymore? I think he might be, might not be. Who knows? I think he's an elite coach. So I will buy stock on Vanderbilt being dancing back-to-back years, Mac. Your thoughts on these doors?
Yeah, but Byington did as good a job as anybody last year, getting them to the dance, flipping that thing in just 1 year. He's great at JMU. We had him on the show. So yeah, we're big Mark Byington guys. It's an interesting team. Yeah, they're very old. I think I like their older guys better than A&M's older guys. So I like Frankie Collins. I know he got injured last year, and Duke Miles as well, coming over from Oklahoma. They just seem to have a little bit of an identity at Vanderbilt now. So yeah, Pavia's got it going in football. Byington's got it going in basketball. I think they get back to the dance too.
Let's go. We just need Byington to piss on Tennessee's midcourt.
Oh yeah. They're right behind him in the age experience thing, Colby. They're the second oldest team in the SEC. Texas, for what it's worth, is the third oldest team.
Nice.
Byington bought up a lot of the experienced and physical players in the transfer portal. Like a couple of these guys have some, I guess, snarl to them. Texas A&M, their portal class is more TMZ. These guys, I feel like, are going to, hit the deck for some loose balls. Byington teams have a clear identity. Like Mac mentioned, they could shoot the heck out of it. They'll win the turnover battle, and they don't turn it over themselves. And it's positionless pressure defense that unfortunately just got cooked last year in the SEC. They finished dead last. But you can see the kind of thought process behind the roster construction here. Byington won 8 games in year 1. And now with this experienced roster, I don't see him falling below that foundation with a more improved physical defensive, like more personnel to fit that. And I don't think the defense is going to be 16th out of 16 teams in the SEC this year. I think it takes a considerable jump up. That's where they improve the most this season. The offense, it's kind of going to be more of the same for me. Defense, much better for Vanderbilt this year.
And the schedule for these doors, they open up with Lipscomb, fun little matchup there. Then at UCF, then Eastern Kentucky, then home to Pine Bluff, put out an APB on that one, and then Texas Southern, that should be easy. Then they head to Atlantis to take on the tops of Western Kentucky, and then after that, they have 2 games scheduled forever there. They also get SMU in Nashville for the ACC SEC Challenge on the 3rd of December. They get Central Arkansas, who's not very good, on December 13th. And then Memphis, I like that game on the schedule. All these Tennessee schools should be playing each other. December 17th. And then they head to Winston-Salem on the 21st of December to take on Wake Forest. They get New Haven, new college basketball team right there. Coming to Nashville on December 29th, and that does it for the non-con. Not a lot of meat on the bone in the non-con, but well played. Yeah, they're dancing. Anything else you guys want to add?
Let's get to ranking.
Yeah. Let's fire away. YouTube.com/the college experience.
Yeah, check out the SGPN store too. Solid hoodie that I've got.
Get that fucking shirt. Go out there. I need that. I need my. I don't even, dude. I don't know what happens to my stuff. I swear, it's.
Well, that's what happens when you move 6 times in a year.
It's true. It's true. Witness protection program's a good thing.
16.
16. Oh, ranking number 16.
LSU.
Sorry.
I got LSU in the basement.
What the hell? We're all three on the same page. I did this as kind of a hate play because that non-con. You know, I gotta admit a little bit that was just kind of like I come on, 16 LSU. Let's go. 15, Mac. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go with the Gamecocks. They jump up one spot here, but I think that they're a little overmatched this year.
Mac stays hating on the new coach.
Yeah.
South Carolina's a hard basketball job, man.
If only they could go to Final Four.
I'm gonna go to Georgia at 15.
I have Georgia 15th as well.
I got the Dogs at 14. Mike White,
South Carolina 14.
Yeah, I do have South Carolina at 14 as well.
Oh, really? You have South Carolina 14th?
I do.
That's not a big step up from where we've got them. We've got them in the same spot, me and you. Come on.
It was them or I can't. I think they could be, but the problem is I'm high on the other teams right around that area. So I gotta put them there.
I got A&M at 13.
I got Oklahoma at 13.
I have A&M as 13 too. Just again, I had to put him there. Bucky's just never had when I say never had a good defense, 200s. Like the defense has been brutal for Bucky.
Did you give out 13, Colby?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Oklahoma.
I got Oklahoma at 12. Porter Moser. It's more the same.
12, I've got Auburn. Young, inexperienced, both on the floor for players and on the bench with coaches.
Yeah, at 12, I actually have at Texas, the Longhorns. Hate coming in. But yeah, I think they're gonna miss out on the tournament. Let's go.
We've come to expect the Longhorn hate for you.
I got Auburn at 11, like you said, Pearl. And 11, hey, you're going to be a fringe bubble team. Probably
at 11. I've got Mississippi State, 3 straight 8-win seasons. They're pure bubble.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I got Auburn. I'm not in love with the team and the way they're headed. That home court advantage is the only thing that makes me hesitate. But yeah, Auburn.
At number 10, I went Missouri. Dennis Gates. Split the difference from the last couple years.
Number 10, I went with Vanderbilt. Let's go.
I got Oklahoma at 10. I like this team, but they'll suck around the rim defensively. So I can put them.
There you go. Mac?
At 9, this is where I went with Texas. So right there on the bubble, Sean Miller and company, per usual.
Well, I got A&M at number 9, so I like this. All right.
At 9, I got Texas as well. I think the defense is going to be great, but if they have any issues, it's definitely their shot making.
Mac, 8.
I'll go Hail State. They get to 500 this time. They get out of the 8 and 10. They go 9-9 this time.
We are hook, line, and sinker because I have Hail State there as well.
8, I got Vanderbilt. Physical, experienced team, high floor, I think.
I got Vandy at 7. Back-to-back Byington to the tourney.
At number 7, I have Tennessee.
7, I'm going Ole Miss. I think it can be a salty defense, and me personally, I don't really see it with the offense outside of Malik Dia, and I'm banking on a good AJ Storr.
At 6, I went Hottie Toddy, Chris Beard.
Yep.
Trust the culture.
I had Ole Miss at 6-2. The only thing I when I put Tennessee that far back, I was just like, is Rick Barnes just gonna fuck me again on this? But regular season Rick just destroys me every year. But anyway, Bienick.
6 for me. I'm going Missouri. Just they have an identity. Downhill guards, physical forwards. They'll get to the free throw line. They'll win some rebound battles.
Mac.
At 5, I got Alabama. Nate Oats and company. A little bit of a setback here, but still good program.
Wait, I think I fucked this up. I think I had Ole Miss at 5. So who did I have at 6?
5 for me. I'll give Colby some time. I got Arkansas. Shooting could be a little shaky. Plus, their depth is really young, but I'm an A-Cuff guy. Big fan.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I have Bama. I'm sorry. Bama. I think I
Bama 5
when I did this. Yeah.
Mac 4.
4, I went Rick Barnes and the Vols. Defensively, they'll find a way to overachieve and grind games out.
4, I've got Alabama. I think there's some questions defensively at the 5, but the offense is going to hum.
Yeah, I don't know. What did I fuck up there? I think I had Bama. I had Bama on here twice. But anyway, yeah. So let's put Bama at 4. Let's put Bama at 4 then.
Who's 5?
5. Let's have Ole Miss at 5. Tennessee at 6.
Okay.
So I was all off by 1, I think.
Tennessee at 6. Okay.
I got Cal at Calipari at 3. I like this team with the momentum they had off of last year and their experience. So give me Cal at 3.
I had Tennessee at 3. 5 straight top 5 defenses nationally. The 2 straight top 30 offenses have unlocked that type of ceiling that Rick Barnes hasn't really had in his entire career. 2 straight Elite 8s, and now you got Jacoby Gillespie. I like this bunch.
Mac, what are you on, 2?
Well, yeah.
My 3 is Florida. My 3 is Florida, by the way. Sorry.
I got the Gators at 2. I want to see this new backcourt, and how they fit together. But front court, they looked apart. The defending champs at 2.
I got Florida at 2 as well. Same thing. I think it's one of the best front courts, if not the best in the country. I'm not a Boogie Flan fan.
I have Kentucky at 2. Go Wildcats.
All right.
Mac?
Yeah.
So
I got
Mac and I.
Kentucky.
Arkansas. Kansas at number 1 for me. Let's go. Love it.
Tournament winner.
I'll give that one to Tennessee. Right before the big dance.
Who won it last year? Florida?
Florida
won it last year.
Good guard play.
Yeah, give me Kentucky to sweep it. Pope gets his first big tournament win here.
I'm gonna take Arkansas. I think Arkansas wins the tournament.
Cal.
Those freshmen grow up throughout the year, and then March they'll click. Sleeper. Media poll. Hold on. I'll pull it up. SEC basketball preseason poll. And we've got... Oh, I clicked on last year's.
Who's picked to win it? Kentucky?
So the number 1 is Florida.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Florida was the defending national champs.
Florida was preseason number 1. Kentucky 2. Tennessee 3. Alabama 4. Arkansas 5. Auburn 6. So there's a disappointment bust candidate. Missouri 7. Ole Miss 8. Texas 9. Mississippi State 10. 11 Vanderbilt. 12 Oklahoma. 13 Texas A&M. 14 Georgia. 15 LSU. 16 South Carolina. I think my sleeper is Vanderbilt, and my bust is Auburn.
Auburn's going to be all our busts.
I think all 3 of us have Auburn as the biggest bust, and mine's A&M. Or Vandy. What was Vandy in that one?
11. I picked them 7th, so yeah.
A&M would be the biggest one for me. I think the biggest jump.
Yeah, mine's Vandy.
Where do you have A&M?
I have A&M at 8th.
Okay. Yeah, that checks out.
All right, folks. Give Noah Bienick a follow on Twitter at NoahB77 _ Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline _ Mac. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. The college basketball experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. YouTube.com/the college experience. Get on over there, hit that like and subscribe button. The season is fucking here. We got the Big Ten preview coming up and college football experience database top 25 as well. This is a lot of talking. We're gonna have to talk about that. 18 fucking teams. Anyway, folks, till next time, this is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.